It's time for exciting live and local sports action on Richmond's very own WBON TV, the leader in local sports television. Remember to like our YouTube channel so you'll never miss any of our live sports coverage. And support these great local sponsors who support our community. Now, here's your announcers for the game.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Madison Central High School, where tonight the Indians of Madison Central take on their in-county rival, the Eagles of Madison Southern. I am Michael Watkins, along with Alan Cutler, and tonight, Alan, we get a rivalry renewed once again, just like you and I saw in basketball last year. Tonight, it is the Indians against the Eagles in Madison County.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the rivalry has been lopsided towards Central. Central has won every game since 2014. And in talking to both coaches this week, John Clark told me, look, he's got all the respect for Central. He said, but they shouldn't win it like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, and you know, the Eagles have played much better in the last couple of years. Last year was a big win for Madison Central, but 2014 was the last time that Madison Southern won. That was the Damian Harris year. Obviously, the top player in the state was an amazing player here at Madison Southern. Went on to play at Alabama. Now is playing for my New England Patriots. So that's a guy that...
I like how you said my New England Patriots.
Whose are they?
Well, you know, if they go 0-16 when Brady leaves and Belichick retires, you're going to say it's my New England Patriots.
No, I'll be a Cowboys fan. No, I'm just kidding. I'll stick with my team. I can't stand a fair weather fan.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Look, Belichick will be coaching there when he's 80.
Yeah.
He will. Brady might be quarterbacking when he's 80. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyways, we are here in Richmond. Should be a fun game tonight. We are live on the EKU pregame show. The campus beautiful awaits you in choosing your college. Choose Big E. Choose Eastern Kentucky University. For more information, go to eku.edu and search all latest the new programs and everything going on at Eastern.
Now, you're the historian among us for Richmond. How long and who made the name Battle of Madison County?
It wasn't me. It's been a long time though, and since that name has been used ever since I took over at Madison Central.
I remember forever too, but somebody had a coin. It's an obvious coin.
Well, and it's a good game early on in the season. Now, a couple of years ago, I think it was back-to-back years, maybe 16 and 17. They played it late in the year, like the last regular season game, and I think the coaches agreed that this game would be better served to be moved up in the schedule because they didn't want to, maybe if they've got some guys injured, they don't want to have to play them that last regular season game going into the playoffs, a chance to give them some breaks or maybe a week off going into the playoffs. So they moved it back up into earlier part of the schedule for that reason. But it's still a fun game. I mean, these kids, especially this year, both teams 0-2, they need a win. It's going to make this game even more important tonight.
Yeah, they're hungry because of the rivalry, and they're hungry because they have to win. Look, I like how Centers put it to me, and in talking to both coaches, there's an honest mutual respect between both coaches, how each runs the program and how they respect each other. This is a hard, clean rivalry, which is the way it's supposed to be. And Centers told me point blank, he said, look, after tonight, I hope they win the rest of their games.
Yeah.
And that's not true in a lot of rivalries. Can you imagine a Louisville coach saying that about Kentucky?
Never. I mean, the
maybe Greg Nord because he coached at Kentucky.
The difference,
a couple guys.
Yeah,
maybe.
The difference here, though, is that they don't play in the same class. So they're allowed, they can cheer for them. Like, we don't have to see them again.
Which is terrific.
Exactly.
There's no thought about them playing in the playoffs. It's a one kind of deal thing. I think there's a common theme that I picked up from both coaches, and I think it's part of what you have to do if you're 0-2. The other thing is the thing I bought what both coaches have told me, and I also think it's legitimately true. Both these coaches honestly believe that each one of their respective teams can be much better by the end of the season. They both believe in different ways, which we'll get into during the broadcast, that they both got better from week 1 to week 2, where everyone says you have your biggest improvement. And they both believe that each team is close to breaking out.
Yeah.
And so they, as you said, they desperately need to win this game, forget about the rivalry.
Well, you saw last week in the Madison Central game, you and I were there against Anderson County, and we saw flashes, especially in that fourth quarter. The defense was incredible. I mean, Anderson County is a really good offensive football team.
Yes, they are.
Central's defense shut them out, and really on 3-and-out a couple of drives late in that game to get their offense the ball back, and the offense literally duplicated. They doubled up their entire yards gained for the entire game. They had 104 yards through 3 quarters. They had 104 yards alone in the fourth quarter in that game last week versus Anderson County.
Well, Anderson in the first half, he either had 75 or 76 yards total. I can't remember which one it was, one or the other. 36 came on a touchdown run.
Yeah.
So after that touchdown run, basically they gave up nothing for the rest of the half. And I know Centers was very excited about how hard his defense played. And you were there. You remember 6:01 to go, and it's a 2-point game.
Yeah.
And then in the final drive, they get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and they take a sack.
Yep.
Two things that, you got to control better. I'm not saying that Central would have won, but they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and going into that fourth quarter, I think you and I both, and we even said it, that we thought that the game was over with. We talked about it in between quarters. Just, man, it's another tough game for the Indians on the road, but they came out in that fourth quarter. They played like a totally different team. They will have to play the way they did in that fourth quarter tonight if they want to get the win here on the home floor, on their home field against their cross-county, in-county rival, the Eagles of Madison Southern. Now, when we come back, we have talked to both coaches.
Yes.
I interviewed Coach Centers earlier this week. Samantha Burford interviewed John Clark earlier this week, so we'll have those interviews for you. We'll take a 3-minute commercial break and come back on the EKU pregame show with both coaches. We'll hear from John Clark and Mark Centers when we come back live on the EKU pregame show here on WBONTV.com.
Need a physical for school or work? Need it right away? No problem. Berea Urgent Care has 2 convenient locations along with late hours to meet your needs. They're affordable too. Physicals at Berea Urgent Care only $20. DOT and CDL physicals are only $65. Berea Urgent Care number 1 by Walmart is open every day 9 to 9. Berea Urgent Care number 2 by Berea Drug open Monday through Friday 10 till 6. No appointment necessary. Berea Urgent Care, here when you need us.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Welcome to Chenault Vineyards, locally grown wine, right here in the heart of Richmond. Chenault Vineyards is a place that everyone can enjoy. Celebrate your next event at Chenault Vineyards, whether it be a wedding, baby or wedding shower, office event, or just a place to gather with friends. You can't beat the venues or the amazing views at Chenault Vineyards. Chenault Vineyards has a restaurant open Friday through Sunday and live music as well. Visit ChenaultVineyards.com to learn more about this amazing place tucked back into the heart of Richmond. Chenault Vineyards.
Citizens Guaranty Bank makes banking on the go a breeze. Banking on the go has never been easier with options like balance inquiries, make payments from any mobile device, transfer funds between accounts, activate or deactivate a card with just a tap. And with mobile checking deposit, you can deposit checks straight into your eligible checking account using your iPhone, iPad, or Android device. Take advantage of all these fast, convenient, and secure services of Citizens Guaranty Bank. Mobile carrier charges and rules and restrictions may apply. See bank for details. Citizens Guaranty Bank, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
CKI Equipment and Services is now open in the former location of Metcalf Metal, but with all new ownership and management of Calvin, Paula, Callie, and Nick Gooch. CKI is your local machinery repair headquarters, in the shop or in the field with CKI's mobile unit. They come to you for all types of welding, stick, MIG, TIG, aluminum, stainless, and mild steel. Everything for your trailers from axles and hubs to lights, wiring, tires, and wheels. CKI Equipment and Services on Highway 52 Irvin Road by Shell.
It's been a busy year, so what's on your to-do list?
Serious house hunting, home improvement projects, or maybe a new car or a boat for summer on the lake. For more than a century, your neighbors at Cumberland Valley National Bank have been helping turn plans into reality. Stop by any of CVNB's 3 branch locations in Richmond or Berea and find the right personal, vehicle, or home loan that fits your budget and meets your needs. CVNB, helping turn plans into reality for more than a century. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
We are back at Madison Central for the big game tonight in town. Everybody here to hang out and watch Madison Central and Madison Southern. Always a fun game. The fans enjoy it. We had our Facebook poll this week on the sports show on Monday night. Who would win the game? It was 55-45. Madison Central was 55%. Madison Southern was 45%. And honestly, after seeing these two teams in week 1, seeing Madison Central last week in their loss versus Anderson County, and obviously Southern had a 14-point lead at halftime over Pulaski Southwestern, ended up losing in overtime. it would not shock me literally if either one of these two teams won by 3 touchdowns, and it wouldn't shock me if it came down to the final possession. That's how I think even these two teams are, that, one play could turn the tide for one team completely, and the same thing for the other team, or it could come down to which team has the ball last.
You know how I am. I'm big on quarterbacks. Tobias Storm is very calm. He might be the smartest quarterback in the state. Schools like Center want him, and he's got 3 touchdowns and no picks. I am still convinced that Cannon Centers is going to be a very good quarterback. His dad told me the game hasn't slowed down yet. He's got like 4 interceptions and 1 turnover, 1 touchdown pass. When he has the game slowed down, Central's going to be totally different, and we're going to watch both quarterbacks tonight.
Yeah, and we're going to hear from both coaches right now, Mark Centers and John Clark. Here's our coaches' interview with the 2 head men for tonight's game, John Clark from Madison Southern and Mark Centers from Madison Central.
All right, Coach, got Madison Southern this week. Just talk about the game real quick for us and give us a rundown to what you guys are looking for.
Yeah, it's a big game. Obviously both of us, looking for our first win. It adds a little bit more to it. It's one of those things that you and I have talked about for many years now coming up. It's a big game for the community, a big game for the fans, and locally it's a big game. But at the end of the day, they've got their championship to chase, and we've got ours. And after this week, we wish them the best of luck. But, this week we both need a win, and I know they're going to come after it hard. And certainly, we're trying to prepare so that we can attack it as hard as possible. So, they've got, similar to us, like a young group. There's a lot of similarities, honestly, between the two teams, except for the fact that they've probably got a little bit of veteran experience on the line. A little bit more than we have up front. But, when you look at the two teams and the breakdowns of the two teams for sure, a lot of youth on the field, a lot of young people flying around making plays, and a couple of key seniors on both squads that are counted on, in leadership roles and to try to lead the team on the field and off. So, I'm very impressed with what they're doing. I think, from a defensive standpoint, seeing the impact that Coach Blair is having down there is certainly a new twist to this now kind of several-year-old story. So I know that that's going to be something that we're going to have to be prepared for. And offensively, Storm and Wald and the Etheridge kid and a couple other guys, too. I mean, they've got 5 or 6 guys on the field at a time offensively that can make plays. So,
what will Madison Central need to do to get a win on Friday?
We've got to protect the football to the best of our ability, and we've got to fly around and play that passionate defense that we played against Anderson County, especially for the last 3 quarters of that game. We've got to be technically sound. We've got to be sound in everything that we do. We've got to make sure that we're assignment-driven and assignment-wise, that we're doing what we're supposed to do, because it's going to take all 11 on the same page on all phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, to be able to come out on top. It's, it got an opportunity to be an awfully good football game, I think.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited. I think it's the 6th or 7th that we've played since I've been here now, so I have to double-check. But always fun to lock horns with Central. We've been doing it every year with freshmen, JV, varsity as well. So we're excited. I say it every year, it's a fun, clean rivalry. Everybody gets after each other, but there's a major respect factor between the teams and the coaching staffs, and I really like that about it.
All right, so you guys have a young team, some inexperience compared to other years. Tell us how that will play a factor.
Well, we're playing 8 sophomores right now, which is a lot when you have 11 on the field at one time. So we've got a lot of young guys on the field right now, but they're getting better, and everything's about getting them as many reps and as many snaps as possible. The more experience they gain, the better it's going to be for our program this year and long term. But they're handling the pressure outstanding, and they're some of our best playmakers. Most of them are actually skill players. So our skill players are younger. Our big guys are a little more experienced.
So tell us, from week 1 to week 2 and now going into week 3, how do you feel like your team's improved?
Yeah, honestly, because of our youth, we've seen drastic improvements from week 1 to week 2. We lost a tough one this last week in overtime. We played hard. The kids played hard. They've played so much better. We just had some knucklehead mistakes at the end of the game that cost us. We eliminate those, we're sitting here 1-1. So I feel confident that our team will be able to eliminate those as we play further. And I really like the progress, and we expect the same this week.
So what do you feel like your team has to do to win Friday night?
Good question. We can't let the moment be too big when you're young and it's a big rivalry game. And, I mean, obviously the place is packed every time we play each other. It's always a great atmosphere. Central's student section is so soft and caring towards the other team. We love it. But they've got to be able to handle the situation. And I think this group's going to be able to. We have a lot of sophomores playing that have played varsity in other sports, basketball, baseball. So I feel like they're going to be able to handle the situation fine. And then we can't turn the ball over.
Here we go.
Lots of cool people here in town tonight because you got former Indians players coming back. You got former Eagles players coming back to watch this rivalry game.
Coach Roy Kidd, EKU legend, is here tonight.
I saw Ethan Hahn, who was a big player for Madison Central last year, is playing at Marshall this season. He's down there on the field watching the game tonight. So it's cool to see these guys come back. But this is a huge game. And, one of our other coverage area teams, speaking of, there he is, Coach Kidd. But speaking of our coverage area, Estill County is another one of our coverage area schools. They were on the air last week versus Powell County, got their first win of the year. And one thing that was pretty cool about last week, it was the first win in the career of Jordan Markham, who was an assistant last year at Madison Central, now is the head coach at Estill County. He got his first win as a head coach last week. And the Engineers now tonight are honoring Robbie Wiseman, who was a big-time player back in the day for the Estill County Engineers football program. He is being honored. He passed away earlier this year. They're having a memorial for him tonight. It's the Robbie Wiseman Classic versus Letcher County Central. So hopefully the Engineers can make it 2-0 on the season when they play Letcher County tonight at home in the second game of Jordan Markham's coaching career. But tonight is a big one here locally. Madison Central, Madison Southern. It's a fun game for everyone. Everybody comes out to watch it. And I think what you're going to see tonight is a good game, a classic between these two schools. In years past, no matter who won, Central has owned this rivalry, 7 wins to 2 losses against Madison Southern. But I think tonight could go down as the best game between the two schools on the football field.
Well, the way it's working out for Southern, their strength age-wise is in the trenches. And what they've developed quickly is they've got some underclassmen who are their big play people, and they had question marks about the big play people, and it's actually going rather well. And they've got a couple kids that Kentucky is looking at. Notice I didn't say offer.
Yeah.
They're looking at. I mean, Jones runs a 4.5. Had a big game last week. And they have guys like that are being watched. There's a long time to go between now and the senior and that kind of stuff. But just the fact that they're being watched, to me, that's impressive. I still go back what we started talking about just before we heard from both coaches. I really think quarterback play is going to be big. I don't know if it's tonight. I don't know if it's week 6. But the game will slow down for centers. When he does, he will take this year to a totally different level. And the other thing about Tobias Storm, he's very calm.
Yeah.
When you see a high school kid with no picks and the team is winless and he's got 3 touchdowns, that's a most unusual stat. He's very calm. He's very smart. And I think it's a battle we need to watch.
Yeah, and last week Storm didn't throw many passes, but I think he was 7 of 8. Very efficient number from the quarterback position. And the one kid we really haven't talked about who may have been the most impressive was Walt Smith. That first game, he made some great catches at that wide receiver position. He's a sophomore, 5'8". I mean, I don't know what they have him listed as. But
he's about 5'10". Remember, we did the first Central Southern game.
They got listed at 5'7", 155. So, I mean, that is a short.
Oh, he's even shorter than I remember, because the first game you and I did together was a Central Southern game, and he wasn't even listed as a guy that was supposed to play. And we were trying to figure out who he was, and he started. And the difference between him at the beginning of the year for Austin Newton at the end, he improved so much. He's the point guard for the next 3 years on the basketball team. And there was talk that he would be the starting quarterback this year. And Coach Clark told me that's how it was going to go, but he lost 2 wide receivers.
Like Tinsley, the transfer, and an injury for the other one.
He had an injury in the transfer, so they put him at wideout, and he's made a couple spectacular plays. And don't be surprised, Michael, if he plays a little quarterback tonight.
Yeah, and Walt's the kind of kid that no matter where you put him at, and the same with Storm. I mean, even Storm, you put him at running back, he's going to make plays for you. You put him at quarterback, he's going to make plays. The same for Walter Smith, because no matter where he plays, he is going to make an impact. It just so happens now he is the wide receiver, and he's a pretty daggone good one for John Clark.
Well, we were here for the first game before Central lost their opener, and that was part of the Roy Kidd Classic. And he made a great catch, just to the right of where our broadcast booth is, and got some serious cramps and was really hurting, yet he came back in the game. And it was interesting because I'm standing, Austin Newton, the coach, that's his,
that's his guy.
That's his guy, and he's going, be okay, be okay, be okay, get up, and it turned out just to be a cramp, which can be very painful. But he made a catch with a couple of Tates Creek defenders, and Tates Creek won that game easily, and you're going, this is a tough kid.
Mm-hmm. And Walt's going to be tough on both the basketball court and the football field. We'll see what kind of impact he makes tonight as the Eagles and Indians take on each other in the Battle of Madison County tonight here in Richmond on the home field of the Madison Central Indians. Both teams 0-2. Which team will get their first win of the season tonight? Kickoff is 8 minutes away, folks. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the EKU pregame show. You're watching us live on WBONTV.com.
The Estill Clinic and Irvin Healthcare Pharmacies are focused on providing the best care possible for the people of Estill County. Our care for our patients and our community is what sets us apart. With society's fast pace, we want to make sure you leave with the information you need about your medications. With the knowledge and experience of John, Ryan, and Janet, you are guaranteed excellent service, whether you're in the store or pulling through the drive-thru. Taking care of the people of Estill County is our #1 priority, so stop in or give us a call to become a part of our community.
Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling has the largest showroom in Central Kentucky with all the power sports products you can dream of for your next adventure. Gateway Cycles has a qualified, certified service department, friendly sales staff so you can ride free and play hard. Local people serving local people. We are here to make your dream a living adventure. Stop in and see us today at Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling or visit us at gatewaycycles.com.
Gillum Sports Lounge is the place to go to watch your favorite team, whether it be EKU, Kentucky, or your favorite local high school team on WBON TV. Gillum's has you covered on one of their many flat-screen TVs. Gillum's has something on the menu for everyone. Pizza, burgers, mouth-watering appetizers, subs, sandwiches, salads, and more. And Gillum Sports Lounge is the perfect place to host your next event in one of their private rooms. When you think local food in Richmond, think Gillum Sports Lounge at 830 Eastern Bypass inside the Richmond Mall.
Hometown Dental in Richmond has been serving the people of Madison County for many years. Now when you go to Hometown Dental, you can get everything you need under one roof because Hometown Dental now offers orthodontics. Hometown Dental is a full-service family dentistry dental group with a personal touch. Check out their website, hometowndentalrichmond.com, to learn about their services and staff at Hometown Dental, located at 4095 Atwood Drive, Suite A in Richmond. Mention this ad and get free x-rays or $100 off Zoom whitening treatment at Hometown Dental.
When you're in Estill County and get the hungries, be sure to eat at Estill's Finest. In the mood for the best barbecue, pulled pork, brisket, steaks, ribs, or burgers? Follow the smoke to the House of Q. And for the best pizza, pasta, or salad, head on down to the Steam Engine Pizza Pub. No matter what you're craving, remember Estill's Finest, Steam Engine Pizza Pub on Main Street, or for mouth-watering barbecue, it's House of Q on River Drive in Irvin.
Healthy smiles are confident smiles. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is offering a new patient special. X-rays, exam, cleaning, and fluoride for only $99. They also have a $10 unit Botox special. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offers their patients single visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with CERAC. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs from implants, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Back on the EKU pregame show. EKU, the campus beautiful, awaits you. When choosing your college, choose Big E. Choose Eastern Kentucky University. For more information, visit eku.edu. It's time for our Jack Burford Chevrolet keys to the game. Get your next keys at Jack Burford Chevrolet. Drive a new Chevy and check out jackburford.com for their complete inventory. Keys to the night, Mark Sanders said, don't turn the ball over. John Clark said to go out there and make plays and don't be nervous. It seems like his guys are always nervous in this matchup.
Yeah, Clark said that when playing this game, he said, my players take it too big.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to make it like it's not just another game, but he said, my guys play their worst game against Central, and we have to fix that. There's no question that the biggest problem Central's had this year is turnovers.
Yeah.
The second biggest problem that we haven't talked about enough, third downs and fourth downs, they're 8 for 32. That's 25%.
Yep.
That's terrible. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but you're going to have to do a much better job if you're going to get better. You can't be 7 for 27 on third downs.
Yeah,
you just can't. And so when centers, the quarterback, gets more comfortable, I'm not saying he's going to go 20 for 27, but he's going to be in the teens in that kind of relationship, and that'll change.
I think the biggest thing that Madison Central misses this year, Joe Burton is a great running back. He's fast. He can get through the hole quickly. But when you need 2 yards on 3rd and 2, it's hard for him to get 2 yards because he can't run anybody over. And that's nothing against him.
He's 150 pounds.
Exactly.
I'm amazed he does as well as he does in the line.
Freddie Chenault last year, the tailback for Madison Central, if you needed 2 yards, you got 2 yards from Chenault last year, the starting running back who graduated. He was a guy that was just – he would put his nose down. He was strong enough to break a couple of tackles and get those 2 yards if you needed that for a first down. Burton, I mean, for everything, but he's a great tailback. As I said, he's just not big enough to break that one tackle or elude that one guy and get into those 2 yards to pick up the first down.
They actually have someone, and I haven't asked centers, but it's pretty obvious why he's not being used more in that role.
Yeah,
Sweat is so good on defense. He's listed as like the 3rd or 4th. He's listed as the 3rd this week, tailback. And he got a big play at a goal line last week when they stuck him in there. You can't play him a lot of tailback because he puts so much energy out on defense. And I'm telling you, I would like to see Sweat in the game when they get inside the 10-yard line. And only in that circumstance, because Burton has done a terrific job, but I'm with you. He's moved the pile a little bit a couple times. And I've looked at him going, how in the world does a kid do it?
Yeah, he's maybe 165, soaking wet.
I think you're being generous.
He's a great kid.
He might be 165 with the helmet on and shoulder pads.
We saw him in that game against Connor. He broke one, I think, 36 yards for a touchdown in that win versus Connor, that he was patient, waited for the hole to open up, and then bursted through it to get the touchdown. He's not going to be a guy that breaks 4 or 5 tackles to take one to the house, but what he can do is basically stay back there, let that hole open up, and then find it, and then take one to the house.
We're going to push it. I'm going to keep tabs of it. But as right now, running on the field is Madison Central. The band is playing. They got a lot of kids in their band.
Yeah.
That's a humongous band.
One of the best bands in the state, really.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. From the end of the end zone to the 40-yard line, you have the cheerleaders and the band, and they're single file on both sides. Is that half the school? I mean,
it's a big school. It's a Class 6A.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm being facetious here, obviously, but it's very impressive that so many of these young people are out in extracurricular activities. You know, you talk about kids not doing things and stuff like that. Well, guess what? We're watching evidence that that's not true, and it's terrific to see.
Madison Central, they will receive the opening kickoff. Madison Southern will kick off with Baylor Willis. And one thing we haven't touched on is how big special teams could play in this game tonight. Willis, They go with more of a pooch kick from him when he kicks off, whereas for Madison Central, Morin is the 2nd-rated kicker in his class in the state of Kentucky. As a freshman, that is a big deal to be that highly ranked in his class for the state. He's a guy that can boot it. We saw him put one in the end zone last week. He had 2 field goals in the game last week. So the special teams could play a big role in tonight's game.
You know, it's interesting. Coaches know about guys when they're underclassmen and stuff, but this kid's a freshman, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kentucky already knew about him, even though he hadn't played it down. But I know somebody who might have texted a certain coach just to say, you got to watch this kid.
Yeah.
Because my comment was, look, I don't know how he's going to be 3 years from now, but the kid's got a great leg now, and I was so impressed at the half last week that this kid came out when everybody was inside, and he was practicing kicks, but practicing at different angles. All right, let's get ready for the Battle of Madison County with the play-by-play, the one, the only, Michael Watkins, the 4th.
Kickoff is brought to you by Madison Drug in Richmond and Urban Healthcare Pharmacy, Estill Clinic Pharmacy over in Estill County. For free delivery, make sure to visit one of those Spencer Drug pharmacies. Here we go, Baylor Willis to kick off for the Eagles. As the Indians are back to return, it'll be an up man most likely, a little onside kick, little pooch kick. Up man grabs it, and down he goes at the 36-yard line. That is number 5, Anthony McLaughlin, on the recovery for the Indians. Being smart with it. And just want to make sure you get the football and let your offense come out there and go to work here on first down.
Well, what Southern just did is give Central really good field position.
Central from the 36-yard line, ball on their left hash mark. Burton will go in the backfield, pistol formation. You'll have Holbrook in the slot to the left side. Lansall and Jacobs out wide. And to the right of centers is Holbrook. Here's a handoff to Burton, and we see the Running game, get going early. A gain of about half a yard. Not much there for Joe.
Well, this was an interesting move by Central. They ran right into a 330-pounder. The Cobb is listed as 330, and it's a good thing he didn't come up here before the game because you wouldn't have gotten any barbecue.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Well, what he did was he pushed the Central blocker back, then he shed the block and made the tackle. And interesting that Central went right after him right away.
2nd and 9, trips right, one receiver left for Centers. Burton behind him. They'll hand it off to Joe again right side. Not much running room. Again, Cobb is there along with Levi Benton to make the tackle.
Benton made the tackle. I'm sorry, Michael, and Cobb assisted. Don't tell anybody this, but one of the Central kids grabbed Cobb's jersey from behind. They didn't call a penalty, but you don't want to tell the rest.
Yeah, we won't tell them that.
No.
All the way up here.
But it is interesting that 2 plays, and you're running at the biggest guy.
3rd and 9. This is the reason why Madison Central is so bad on the numbers on 3rd down. It's been 3rd and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all year long. Centers will throw. He's looking left, and nobody there. A little miscommunication. He was looking for Ashton Holberg out of the backfield, and a flag comes in late. Flag in the backfield at the 28-yard line.
Michael, I wasn't sure who he was throwing to because Holbrook was there, but Pruitt was a little deeper, and it almost looked like Pruitt should have ran it down and out, and the pass would have been for him. So you're right. There was a miscommunication there somewhere because the pass was right in between both receivers.
Looks like it's against Madison Central. After the play, a little extracurricular activities going on. Just as Allen does when he's at the buffet line at the organic restaurant.
You know what? This will be your mission this year. I have not heard of or found any place that has an organic buffet.
We're going to find it. So now the Indians will punt from their own.
Yeah, I haven't seen an all-you-can-eat salad bar organic. Have you, Sam? Maybe that's a business you should go into, Michael.
I don't know if I can handle that or not. You're the organic expert. Eagles going to bring some pressure up the middle. The punt gets away cleanly, but it's not going to go very far. High end-over-end punt. It'll take a Indians bounce and go out of bounds right near midfield. Etheridge was back to return the punt. He doesn't get a chance at it, and the Eagles will take over with very, very good field position.
Yeah, the Eagles get very good field position. Actually, the punt didn't go far, you're right, but I was impressed how high it went, which shows me this kid has a potential maybe for booming one. And I think he was a little concerned about the rush, and the rush might have cost him 10 yards, so he actually handled the pressure pretty well, Michael.
So we'll get our first look at Tobias Storm. It'll be 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. That's Palmer, the tight end, to the right side. Storm in the shotgun. Receiver to his left, Tobias. Sends a man out in motion now. He will throw a little screen pass out to number 3. That is Jones. Jones with all kinds of speed, as you talked about in the pregame, and he takes it down to the 42-yard line of Madison Central. Pretty good opening play for the Eagles.
Michael, it's interesting. You know, I'm telling you, he ran a 4.5, a bullet 4.5 in a camp, which makes Kentucky look at him. He looked even faster on that play. And not only that, you know, this kid's a sophomore, and he's got really good hands. I mean, you know, getting kids at that size and speed to catch the ball is huge, and you got an underclassman that caught the ball like that. Michael, that's impressive.
Jones to the right of Storm now in the backfield. 2 receivers right, fullback to the left side. They're going to hand it that way to Jones. He's hit by Sweat, stays on his feet, going to lose a couple of yards, back to the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Eagles.
The guy who made the play was Chenault, because Chenault beat his guy, got in the backfield, and made him adjust. He got away from him, but couldn't get much further, and just because it took him time to get away from him, that allowed the Central D to come up and make a play. And we can't forget that Coach Centers was really excited with how hard his defense hit after they got down 14-0 last week.
Storm in the shotgun again on 3rd and 5. He will hand it off to Jones.
Whoa!
Keeping himself on the RPO, and Storm down the left sideline is finally pushed out of bounds by Story. But what a fake. The defense bit on the RPO, and Tobias Storm takes it all the way inside the 25-yard line.
Best fake we've seen this year. Honestly, did you get faked out?
Oh, yeah. I thought he handed it off.
I got faked out.
Jones.
True confession. So we're all guilty? You know what my woe was for? My woe was for, like, great tackle. That's how bad I was on that.
They say he went out of bounds at the 28-yard line, and here comes I thought we might see a flag. No flag thrown.
No, they're getting the play from the sidelines.
It's 1st and 10 from the 28. Eagles going left to right here on the opening down of the first quarter. They're going to keep it again with Storm on the RPO. Storm is tackled after a Gain of about 4 yards inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line.
Michael, this is what he's doing, and it's impressive, and I could see it better this time and how I got faked out the first time. He literally puts the ball in the belly and takes it out. Most guys just kind of fake, but to play out the fake as good as he's done in the last 2 plays, that's really cool. Here's the other thing. As you're setting up the play, you can see how calm he is just looking over the defense.
2 receivers, 2 tailbacks for Storm, 1 on each side of him, Holbrook and Jones. They sent Holbrook in motion to the right. And they're going to hand it off. Ball is loose, and the Indians have recovered the fumble. They faked the handoff to Holbrook, gave it to Etheridge, and did the Eagles fall back on it? Thought the Indians had it. Looks like they're going to keep it with Madison Southern. The Eagles were able to fall back on it. So Southern keeps possession, but Madison Central was right there. Smart play by one of those offensive linemen. It might have been Dane Jackson, the left tackle there, to fall on it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who, but after I just bragged on him, he kept the ball in too long, and the great fake caused the fumble. So
3rd and about 6 for Tobias Storm and the Eagles offense.
Man, look how low Jackson gets. We're going to talk about him in a second.
Storm will throw. He's going deep. He's got a man. It's caught for a touchdown. Walter Smith in the end zone, and what a play. One-on-one coverage with Storm and Emmanuel Pruitt. And make that Walter Smith and Emmanuel Pruitt, and Storm put a ball on the money for a touchdown, Madison Southern.
You know, it's the old throw it where only my guy can catch it, and then when he put it in the air, it looked like Smith might not get it, and then Smith all of a sudden went, boom, Roadrunner, 5th gear. It was a really pretty play, and Walter Smith has made some huge plays for Southern this year.
And now, for the first time that I've seen this year, Smith is going to do the kicking duties.
Does he sell popcorn too?
Storm will hold it. Smith puts it up, and that kick is good. Walter Smith catches the touchdown and caps it off by kicking in the extra point. It's Madison Southern 7, Madison Central nothing. We'll step aside for a 1-minute commercial break and be right back on the stations of Wallingford Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
Healthy smiles are confident smiles. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is offering a new patient special. X-rays, exam, cleaning, and fluoride for only $99. They also have a $10 unit Botox special. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offers their patients single-visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with CERAC. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs, from implants, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Kentucky has lots of counties and miles of roads. And in every county, there's a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent looking out for folks when they're on the road. When you're in Kentucky, you're never far away from Kentucky's own property and casualty insurer.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Back at Madison Central for the Battle of Madison County, and it's a one-way battle right now as the Indians fall behind 7-0 on a touchdown pass from Tobias Storm to Walter Smith. And the Indians will begin this drive at their own 41-yard line.
Now, interesting, the big man, and I'm keeping an eye on him because he's humongous. Cross has now moved to right tackle instead of left tackle. So I guess they move him a little bit around. And he's over the center, the poor center for Central. He's got to outweigh him by 60 pounds.
And off Burton again. Tries to get outside. He cannot do it. That's a great tackle. One-on-one open field tackle by Cameron Holbrook to bring down Joe Burton.
Was a good tackle by Holbrook, and then coming in the pylon was Cross. How would you feel if a little late hit and it's a 330-pounder getting you? Daniel Cobb, excuse me.
Yeah, Cobb he's very agile, too, for his size.
Yes, he is.
Very fast for a guy that size. Trips right, one receiver left, 4 centers. 0 for 1 passing tonight. Going to go throw it here. Little screen pass to Story, and it's incomplete. The Eagles read that perfect, and the offense that we saw in the fourth quarter last week versus Anderson County is nowhere to be seen right now here in the opening frame versus the Eagles.
Another one of the talented sophomores, Brock Palmer, made the play. And Clark was telling me he's just as good at baseball as he is
yeah, really good baseball player.
in football. And he started, as you know, as a freshman last year on the Southern team. That was a terrific play because he was right there. He didn't bite any fake, and Story's a good football player.
You talked about the sophomore class for Southern. Both of these two teams are loaded with their sophomore class. There's a sideline warning here as the flag comes in against Madison Southern. So no yardage yet, but a sideline warning against the Eagles. But you look at the sophomore class for Madison Southern. You've got Etheridge and Jones. You've got the sophomore Palmer. And obviously Walter Smith.
Yep.
Maybe the best out of all of them, who got the touchdown pass a moment ago. And for the Indians, you've got guys like Sweat and Parks out of the backfield who are sophomores. Both of these sophomore classes are loaded for the Indians and the Eagles.
Well, and the other thing is both teams have big classes in their freshman class, too.
Center's going to fake the handoff, throw it out of the backfield. What a hit, Holberg. They're going to say incomplete. He had that in his hands, dropped it on the hard hit from the cornerback Palmer, who came in and delivered a heavy blow to knock the pass incomplete, and the Indians can't get anything going right now. And credit that Eagles defense, who once again forces a 3-and-out.
I hate to disagree with you, Michael. That wasn't a hard hit. That was a slobber knocker. I mean, that's 2 plays in a row. He just teed off. So they obviously don't believe that Centers is going to throw the ball deep, so they're just playing the short pass.
And when you get hit like that, take your vehicle to Renfro's Collision on Richmond Green Drive.
Very good, Michael.
Back to return the punt. I believe that's Etheridge. This one a much better punt than the previous one. And it will bounce outside the numbers, taking Madison Central bounce. And the Indians race down to down it at around the 18-yard line. Should have let that one go.
Yeah. Should have let it go even more.
Might have got another yard or two out of it, but still forces the Eagles to begin the drive at their own 16, just shy of the 17-yard line.
That
at the 17.
That last hit was more than a fender bender.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious. At my age, if I got hit like that, I'd be tied up for 2 weeks. My mouth would still move.
Well, your mouth's got a lot of experience.
Yes, it does. You could have done much better with that straight line I gave you. You're usually better than that, Michael. I'm trying to set you up and help you out.
Too good tonight.
Folks, let me tell you, Michael can flat out eat. I'm proud of you.
Storm will hand it off. It's Etheridge this time. And Jay Sean, not much room. He'll get a few yards up to the 20-yard line, gain of 3.
Oh, I hate to interrupt the play-by-play, but Sam says you're a picky eater. All I've seen him do is anything on the plate, he gobbles. I've never seen him be picky. He eats and eats and eats. And then when I went downstairs for a minute, he snuck a second plate, and the second plate was bigger than the first plate, and he's telling me he's watching his diet after what I saw him eat tonight.
I know. I got to do better.
Well, he's got sympathy pains for the misses, and so I'm okay with that.
Storm back in the shotgun. He will hand it off. Again, a fumble on the play. The ball is down on the field. The Indians do recover this one. It is number 49, Deshaun Gowdy, who picks it up. And for the second time tonight, on a quarterback handoff exchange from Storm to Etheridge, the ball comes out. The first time, the Eagles were able to recover it. This time, Madison Central hops on it, and that could be a huge play in this ball game because Madison Central gets great field position, Alan.
This is great field position, and you wouldn't expect this many turnovers by Tobias, who has that much experience. Now, he was a slot guy when they went to the state championship, as you know, but he also was a middle school quarterback, had over 1,000 yards, and I was not expecting this kind of sloppiness coming from him.
Well, one thing we did see right there, Storm walks over to Etheridge to kind of pat him on the back. That one looked to be Etheridge's fault. Storm said, shake it off, let's get a stop on defense. Now, the big thing here for the Indians, I'll get back to that point after this play. They hand it off, it's Parks. Parks around the edge at the 10. Touchdown, Indians. What a play. A flag comes in after the touchdown. We'll see if the play stands, but a flag comes in after the play is over.
Man, he had a fifth gear. You called touchdown when he was at the 6.
Yeah, Parks is very fast. He's so fast, he makes fast people look not fast.
No, that's impressive. You know what would be a really good race? Parks and Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
Parks and Jones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So the touchdown's wiped off because of the flag. That's another just bad penalty against Madison Central.
What's the call?
It was a hold.
Did you see on who?
It was actually, honestly, it did not affect the play. It was one of those that was away from the play.
Correct. It was away from the play, and when the official threw it, he had basically already scored, and I thought they threw it late.
So center's back to the pistol. Pressure coming from the outside. He's going to go over the middle to Jacobs and just didn't see him. Jacobs was overthrown. Centers thought he was going on the out pattern. Jacobs cut it on a post, and the incompletion will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I have no idea whose fault it was, but somebody messed up, and the sad part is for Central, he was open. And here's the thing about Central. He's got a really good arm, but he needs to put a little more air in that, because he put a little more air in that, there could have been an adjustment.
And Jacobs is a kind of guy that if you throw it in his direction, he's going to catch it. Very good hands for a big man. Jacobs wide right. Landsaw here one-on-one matched up with Tobias Storm. A good matchup here. Center is going to pitch it out to Parks again. Blocking in front. Parks cuts it up the middle. Now back outside, and he is tackled at the 10-yard line. Going to be close to a 1st down, but Adrian Parks showing off his speed again on the touchdown that was called back. He took it 20 yards to the house, courtesy of Cindy House Realty. But here, a 10-yard gain, going to be very close to a 1st down, and the officials say it is a 1st down. Or will it not be? They're going to say 3rd down.
3rd down, but Michael, the block by Cameron McAlpin, 5'9", 200 pounds, listed as a tight end. He took on the Southern kid head on. There's no 5 yards if it wasn't for that block.
They say it is a 1st down, but they mark it at the 10-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal.
Oh, okay.
For the Indians.
Well, this is our 3rd game this year, and that's the best block that McAlpin has thrown that we've watched this year.
Parks in the backfield again. They'll give it to him again. McAlpin, another nice block. Parks fighting for yardage, going to be pushed out of bounds at the 3, possibly the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and McAlpin's making a block 5 yards downfield. And he's pushing the guy back, and he's listed at 5'9". I mean, I don't know what this kid does in the weight room, but he's got to be strong. You got to be strong to do what he did, because he squared up the Southern kid and pushed him back.
So it'll be at the 2-yard line. Central will have it, 2nd down and goal as they bring in Holberg. This might be a spot where we might see Sweat, but I don't see Sweat out there on this play. Parks and Holberg out there with Landsaw, Holbrook, and Jacobs at the wide receiver position. They hand it off to Holberg. He punches it through. No sign yet. There comes the signal. Touchdown, Madison Central. And we've got a ball game, folks. Very nice handoff to Ashton Holberg. He takes it into the house. And that'll be a 7-6 score with Morin coming on for the PAT.
To score after you lost a touchdown on a really nice play, confidence-wise, is humongous for Central. As a freshman,
flag comes in before any movement occurs. Normally it's after the door is swung open, or swung shut, I guess.
You really like this open?
I love it, man.
Really?
It's so fun. Because, I mean, it seems like there's a flag every time that they run.
Okay. Maybe I'm just not used to it.
It was a violation against Madison Southern. So normally when this occurs, the Indians, will normally go for 2. They'll normally pitch it over to Sweat and attempt the PAT. Sweat is lined up behind that offensive line here on the left side. They pitch it to Sweat. Sweat runs it in. 8-7, your score. Madison Central on the 2-point conversion.
He plowed that in. That was like, boom, bulldozer. We're going straight ahead. There's nothing fancy about what they did. It was just man-on-man, and Central clobbered Southern.
Indians 8, Eagles 7 on your People's Bank scoreboard. We'll go back to the station for 1 minute and bring you back to Richmond here on the stations of Falling for Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
At People's Bank, we do it all, from personal banking to business banking and lending services. And unlike some other banks, we make all decisions locally. When you don't have time to wait, count on us. People's Bank is the perfect fit for your busy life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
People's Bank, with lots of locations to serve you. Give them a call at 986-6860 and check them out online, whitakerbank.com.
At Madison Drug, Charles and his staff know your time is valuable and will work to get you in and out quickly. We have a convenient drive-thru and offer free delivery. For vaccinations, just walk right in, no appointment necessary. Madison Drug, Richmond's hometown pharmacy. At Madison Drug, Charles and his staff know your time is valuable and will work to get you in and out quickly. We have a convenient drive-thru and offer free delivery. For vaccinations, just walk right in, no appointment necessary. Madison Drug, Richmond's hometown pharmacy.
Live here at Madison Central High School, the Indians 8 and the Eagles 7. Don't forget, Samantha Burford will talk to both head coaches at halftime.
And she has a special guest.
David Gillum will join you and I during the halftime show as well, the superintendent of Madison County.
Oh, I thought Sam was doing that interview. No, you guys are. Oh, we are. Okay.
This kick going to go into the end zone. I think Storm thought it might go out of bounds. It's Etheridge, excuse me. Etheridge thought the kick might go out of bounds. It ends up staying and riding that line going into the end zone, so the Eagles will take over at their own 20-yard line.
You know, that two-point conversion to me is huge for obvious reason of the numbers, but the way Central did it, they was like, we're just going to punch you in the mouth and move you back. And they didn't just move him back. Michael, even though I just saw a picture of you with a flower in your head, with a flower in your head, and if I have bad dreams tonight, I'm really going to be upset. But you could have run that in behind that line, and that's not normal disrespect for you. I'm really talking how good the line was.
Yeah, good offensive line play is going to be big in this game because
he's not buying that, is he, Sam? I didn't think so. Well, I'm sorry. We're broadcasting a game here. Don't interrupt me.
Storm in the shotgun. Going to fake it off or hand it off to Holbrook. He faked it, kept it himself, and Storm's got some running room down the left sideline, and he lowers that shoulder and runs over Nate Story, the defender.
Flag.
There is a flag in the backfield that could negate it all, but what a play by Tobias Storm.
That was a great fake, dude. I mean, I'm serious. Matter of fact, you don't know what happened on those two fumbles. I'm wondering if this kid is so good at faking that he's actually
faking at his own team.
Yes,
yeah.
Seriously, but they practice with him.
The flag comes back. What happened there is he was going to hand it off to Holbrook on the RPO. Tayshawn Chenault actually got in the backfield and was going to tackle Holbrook as he received the handoff. Storm saw that, kept the football, ran it all the way down the field, and the flag occurred in the backfield.
You know, if you didn't eat all that barbecue, you wouldn't be saying excuse me on TV and radio here.
It was too good. The Pepsi too, probably.
You don't drink carbonated soda when you're broadcasting. Is this your first game?
It's the third
of
the year.
I can tell you something stupid I did when I started, too, in broadcasting 8,000 years ago. You'll laugh at me.
Storm going to go deep this time. He's got Smith behind the defense. Smith makes the catch. Behind Story, Smith stutter steps, gets down the field at the 30, 20. Can he be caught? Walter Smith to the house.
73 yards.
What a catch and what a run by Walter Smith, who has taken over this football game as he takes it all the way down the field for a touchdown, Madison Southern.
So this kid, 73, so this kid is a sophomore? Seriously. Okay, he's over 250 yards receiving so far this year, Michael, if my math is right.
That was pretty impressive. We are live on WBON TV. Isaiah Minter, who is now an EKU Colonel, played at Madison Central a couple of years ago.
Right.
He's going to be in attendance tonight. He was watching us earlier on WBON TV. But what a catch. What a catch and what a run by Walter Smith. Eagles going to go for two. They cannot get it. And that'll keep this game at a 5-point lead for Madison Southern.
And Walter Smith played quarterback on the two-point conversion.
Eagles 13, Madison Central 8. We still got a long way to go on this one, folks, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 minute on the stations of Wallingford Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
In the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
It's tailgate season at Jack Burford Chevrolet. You can pick out your favorite tailgate connected to a huge selection of new Chevy Silverados right here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. Visit us on the EKU bypass, and you can always shop jackburford.com 24/7, 365. Now a game is on. Oh, this is a good one. It's where Chevys cost less.
Back at Madison Central High School, the Eagles on a huge 73-yard touchdown pass from Tobias Storm to Walter Smith put the Eagles back in front.
There were two things about the long touchdown besides the great catch and throw that were important. Smith slightly had an angle to try to slow down the Central kids, and that worked for a little bit. It looked like the Central kids might get him. He had another gear because he might have been stopped 35 yards out before, but he kind of moved his shoulder a little bit to the inside, which makes him hesitate. Then he went down the sideline. Then he went the final burst down the sideline. He actually picked up speed. It was a very smart, mature move.
Yeah, and Smith high-stepped one of the defenders as they dove after him to kind of get his feet out of the way. Little dancing move by Walter Smith to get out of the way of the tackle and take it 73 yards down the field.
And you were saying in the commercial break you're checking out, we got a lot of people watching us on TV.
A lot of fans hanging out with us tonight on WBON TV on our Facebook page. We thank you for watching. Here's another pooch kick by the Eagles, and they're going to recover it. Ball is still floating around.
No. Central might have gotten it back. We'll see.
I believe it was Palmer who dove on it, and as he kind of rolled up on top of the football, the ball came loose again, and now the Indians able to dive on it with Ashton Holberg.
Southern had it, and I think when he put his belly on it, if you ever fall on a football with your stomach, it hurts. You don't want to do it. I don't care how many sit-ups you do, you don't want to do it. And it looked like when he dove on it, it popped out. Of course, with the amount of barbecue that you ate, if you had a football going, it would be bad.
The only sit-ups
you
that
could
I
broadcast.
do are sitting up out of the bed.
I'd have to get a wheelbarrow for you.
I mean, come on.
You should say, you know what? I'm really mad I didn't take pictures of him eating. And his second plate was humongous. I'm jealous. I can't eat that.
Center's going to throw on first down, complete to Lansall. Lansall's got some space. And finally tackled across the 35, inside down to the 33-yard line. A nice hook up there, and John Lansall doing the work on the slant pass.
That might be the best pass the Centers has thrown for two reasons. One, they found a soft spot in the zone. They threw it right in between two defenders, and I like what Centers did. Sometimes he throws the ball 98 miles an hour. Yeah. This was about 75, and his arm is so good he doesn't have to throw 98 miles an hour all the time. He took something off, and he hit him right in stride. That was a senior play right there by a kid starting his third game.
Two receivers left. The tailback is Burton behind Centers. Holberg to his left. That's where they go is Burton up the middle, and Cobb right there yet again to bring him down along with Levi Benton. Those two guys have been good against the run here in the first quarter.
Do you have any idea, and I don't, who's looking at Cobb?
I
Somebody's looking at Cobb.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. You say 330. Okay, he's got a little bit of a belly. I don't care about that stuff. But for a man that size, one, he's fast off the ball, and he's, just because you're 330 doesn't mean you're strong. That's a misnomer. But he's strong, I'm impressed how quick he gets off the ball.
Too.
Yes, he's very agile. He's terrific. Oh, Sam's going to get you some more barbecue for the next commercial break.
Need a bottle of water. Center's going to roll out left. He'll throw, caught by Holberg on the left sideline, and Ashton will get it across the 30 and down to what looks like the 25-yard line. A nice play there, and Cannon Centers has settled in at quarterback.
Yes, he has.
And has started to make some plays.
Yep.
It'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for Madison Central. Probably 4 down territory, although this early in the game we might see Patrick Moore.
Hey, Sam, do me a favor. When you get the barbecue, don't get too many hot sauce. I've got to sit next to him. Oh, I thought you guys were buddies.
Doesn't take care of me.
Oh, I thought you guys were buddies.
3rd down and 2. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Centers. He will hand it off to Burton. A nice hole. Burton's got a first down inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. That's the best hole the offensive line has provided for their tailback tonight.
Yeah, there were a couple really good blocks. One of them was helped out by McAlpin, the tight end, and the other one was Turpin, who's a sophomore. I thought he was a junior. He's a sophomore. That was a nice block. He's already a nice player. 2 more years of that kid in the weight room.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Parks is back in the game at tailback, lined up behind Centers. Lansall to the left, matched up with Storm. The Eagles going to bring pressure. Parks got the handoff, and he was leveled for a loss of 3. Number 54 from Madison Southern, Alex Buttry, making the tackle.
It's almost like Southern knew the play based upon the formation because they had it lined up perfectly, and they didn't budge. Well, look, you got 2 smart coaches here, and both coaches have held some things back, but they're both 0-2, and you got to let it all hang out. But it almost looked like they knew the play coming.
2nd down and 14 from the 20-yard line. Ball set dead center of the field.
You got Jacobs wide like they're going to throw deep.
Centers almost got the defense to jump, and he did.
I thought he did jump. Yeah, they finally called it.
Good heavy count by the offense to get back 5 of those 4 yards lost. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for Madison Central.
You know, this Avery Hinson is, to me, an interesting prospect because he's listed about 205, but he's 6'4". If he goes to a smaller school and they redshirt him, he could end up being 240, and he's got pretty good strength for a kid his size already, and he moves pretty good. He looks more like a basketball player than a football player, yet they've got him at left tackle, and nobody's getting around him.
2nd down and 9. Centers. Going to throw. He's got a man and just threw it a little bit too hard into the end zone. Fans wanting a flag. I didn't see anything there.
Yeah, he did get held, I thought, but there was no way he could catch the ball. And it's tough to judge officials. Like some just say, well, he can't catch the ball, so we're not going to do it, and others will throw the flag.
3rd down and 9. The Indians need the 7-yard line for a 1st down.
Will Chamberlain couldn't have caught that. Do you know who Will Chamberlain was?
Yeah, he's pretty good center for the
pretty good?
Bucks.
Pretty good?
The Lakers.
Oh, my goodness.
Scored 100 points in the game for the Philadelphia 76ers.
In Hershey, Pennsylvania.
You don't want to talk NBA with me, Al.
You don't want to talk NBA with me, Pally.
Centers going deep into the end zone, too high, intended for Lansall. That'll bring up 4th and 9, and we'll see if the kicking team comes out.
See, this is the same mistake the centers will not make down the road. The receiver was double-teamed. He wasn't open. He looked that way and threw it. He had another receiver on the other side, wasn't really open, but was open more than, and he never turned around to look. And that's the kind of play that as he gets older, he won't do.
Here comes the freshman kicker, Patrick Morin.
He had a 36 and a 40-yarder last week, and he's a freshman.
This one will be a 33-yard kick. Ball right in the middle of the field.
I bet he makes it.
Holbrook will hold to cut this lead down to 2. How about the points in this game? Already 13-8 and still a minute to go in the quarter.
Fun game.
Holbrook will take the snap. There it is. Morin puts it up, and that kick is crisp and right down the pipe. Field goal is good. 13-11. Madison Southern on top.
Michael, that would have been good for 50 yards.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating. It's not like that went to the concession stand, and it didn't make it to the track, but it went pretty close to the track.
Let's take a 1-minute commercial break and come right back on the stations of Falling for Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
Need a physical for school or work? Need it right away? No problem. Berea Urgent Care has 2 convenient locations along with late hours to meet your needs. They're affordable too. Physicals at Berea Urgent Care only $20. DOT and CDL physicals are only $65. Berea Urgent Care number 1 by Walmart is open every day 9 to 9. Berea Urgent Care number 2 by Berea Drug open Monday through Friday 10 till 6. No appointment necessary. Berea Urgent Care, here when you need us.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Welcome back, everybody. Take it away, Michael.
The kickoff going to go into the end zone again. It's the second time tonight Patrick Morin has put it into the end zone. And, you know, Alan, these two teams combined for 24 points already in the first quarter. After the showing we saw last week by Madison Central in those first 3 quarters, I did not think they would have a 2-score for our opening quarter, but a really good job here in the first quarter after a couple of drives to begin the game. Couldn't get much going. They finally got a breath of life with that fumble recovery. And since then, this has been a really good ball game.
Oh, I think Central's just getting better as Southern's getting better. By the way, it's 13-11 is the score. Southern leads.
Storm will be in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers right, 2 tailbacks tied into the left side. Holbrook in motion to the right. They hand it off to Jones, who's got all the speed in the world. And not much running room as Sweat comes in from behind to make the tackle for Madison Central.
And he had a little help from Seth Smith, who's, if he loses a couple pounds, he could be a jockey. I mean, for that kid to be in there, he's listed at 5'4" and 128 pounds. I think I was that in like 3rd grade. I mean, for that kid to be fearless and go in there, you want to tell everybody what you're doing in the commercial break?
Got my water.
There's a rule in broadcasting. You don't eat popcorn when you're on the air. I did that one time, and I'll never do it when I was a rookie broadcaster. And you don't drink anything carbonated. And Michael's been in broadcasting for 30 years.
Here's Storm on the RPO, keeping it himself, makes a man miss, and is finally tackled by McIntosh at the 46-yard line. But another nice play on the carry by Tobias Storm.
He's got some shoulder moves where he can fake the defender out that way.
First quarter will come to an end, and what a first quarter it was. Each team scores twice, but the Eagles have a 13-11 lead after one on your People's Bank scoreboard. We'll go back to the station, folks, and come right back. We have got a good one tonight. Don't go anywhere. Coming back to Richmond in one on the stations of Volume for Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
Welcome to Chenault Vineyards, locally grown wine, right here in the heart of Richmond. Chenault Vineyards is a place that everyone can enjoy. Celebrate your next event at Chenault Vineyards, whether it be a wedding, baby or wedding shower, office event, or just a place to gather with friends. You can't beat the venues or the amazing views at Chenault Vineyards. Chenault Vineyards has a restaurant open Friday through Sunday and live music as well. Visit ChenaultVineyards.com to learn more about this amazing place tucked back into the heart of Richmond. Chenault Vineyards.
Citizens Guaranty Bank makes banking on the go a breeze. Banking on the go has never been easier with options like balance inquiries, make payments from any mobile device, transfer funds between accounts, activate or deactivate a card with just a tap. And with mobile checking deposit, you can deposit checks straight into your eligible checking account using your iPhone, iPad, or Android device. Take advantage of all these fast, convenient, and secure services of Citizens Guaranty Bank. Mobile carrier charges and rules and restrictions may apply. See bank for details. Citizens Guaranty Bank, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Back at Madison Central High School, it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the road against their in-county rival, the Indians. 4 receivers set. Storm going to keep it on the quarterback draw, trying to find a hole, waits for one, and gains a couple of yards. Good pursuit by the Indians secondary to come in and tackle him after a gain of 2 yards.
Yeah, Michael doesn't like it when I talk about him. He just likes to pick on me. But, you know, one of the first things you learn in broadcasting is you don't drink anything carbonated because you end up belching on the air, which you've done.
Yes.
So now, oh, you're sneaky. You are really sneaky.
Turn you back on me,
Yeah,
Cutler.
you're really I can't believe what you just did. So he went to get water. So then he's going to put some sugar in the water. So I take the sugar away from him, and it's fake stuff. It's not good for you. And I toss it away, and you put another one in. At least you're drinking water.
Exactly. That's the only way I can drink water. As Holbrook gains about 6 yards on the 2nd down and 8.
Be a real man and drink just regular water.
Well, what makes water regular anyway?
Just water.
It'll be 3rd and about 3 for Madison Southern. 13-11, 11 minutes to play in the first half.
I got to admit, my first year in broadcasting right out of college, doing a Little League baseball on an FM rock station in Farmington, New Mexico. They make really good popcorn. And I ate the popcorn while doing play-by-play, and never again.
Hand off to Jones. He bursts through the hole and has a first down inside the 35-yard line, down to the 33. Tell you what, this Jones kid, man, if you give him any breathing room, he can break one just as he did right there.
Michael, he looks like a track star playing football, yet he's got good hands. I mean, his future is spectacular. He's listed at 5'7", 160. You think that might be a little generous, but he looks strong, and he's got good hands.
1st and 10, 10:23 to play in the first half. Handoff goes to Jones. Not much running room there as he will actually lose a yard.
So you watching the game on TV?
Yeah.
Are you doing a play-by-play that way?
Not really. We're looking at some of the fans we've got. We got Don Mead hanging out with us.
Hello, Don.
And Lykin said, watching from Center College, alum of 2018, go Jay Sean Etheridge. Robert Holliday hanging out with us, says go Eagles. Watching all the way from Georgia, class of 09.
Nice. Now, is this on YouTube?
It's on our Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Dustin Kyle Smith says go Indians. This has the makings to be a close game, which I thought it would be.
I don't remember you saying that.
So you don't listen to me, Alan.
No, I try not
Storm going to look to throw. Now takes off with it. Loses a half a yard. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll still bring up 2nd down and an 11.
I understand. You really did say you wouldn't be surprised if either team won tonight, that it would be close.
You know,
I have to be honest.
It's just the way these two teams have played in the
It's a
first two
rivalry.
games.
You know the old stupid line, throw out the books, it's a rivalry, stuff like that. You know what I seriously like? This has been hard but clean.
Yes.
There's nothing dirty. It's hard. It's clean. Kids are smacking the way they should be smacking. Credit to both. Yep. it's a credit to both coaches and both programs.
3rd and 11, the Eagles hand it off. They'll get a couple of yards, but well short of the first down.
You know, plus you weren't in the booth then when I was talking about it at the time, Sam, but, you know, Center says after tonight he hopes Southern wins the rest of their games. And Clark couldn't have been any nicer or any classier talking about Central, and they both were talking the way in, and I'm going, you guys live in the same town. They go, you know what? Clark said, I've never been that way, and he said, Mark has never been that way. And, you know, doing what we do for a living, because that's not always true, as you guys know, it's really nice to hear.
4th down and 7 for Madison Southern. They're going to go for it. They send a man in motion. That's Walter Smith.
Big play.
They're going to give it to Walt.
He's going to
throw.
throw.
He's got a man deep, and it's Palmer who catches it and waltzes into the end zone. A little trickery this time by the Eagles as they pitch it out to Walt Smith, and Walt Smith throws the touchdown to Brock Palmer, and the Eagles tack on 6 more, 19-11, Madison Southern on top.
You know, and that's the kind of play you save for the right moment, and you pull it out of your hat at the right moment. That was the perfect moment. And as I talked about in the pregame show, don't be surprised if Walt Smith plays a little quarterback, which he also did on the 2-point conversion that didn't work. That was a sweet pass, just a sweet pass.
So if you're keeping track at home, Walter Smith has caught 2 touchdowns. He's kicked 1 extra point, and he's thrown a touchdown. Now going to kick a PAT again here to make this a 9-point lead. The kick is up. The kick is good. It is 20-11. Madison Southern on the road, leading their rival by 9 points. 8:21 to play in the first half. Folks, back in 1 minute on WEKY, WKXO, and WBONTV.com.
CKI Equipment and Services is now open in the former location of Metcalf Metal, but with all new ownership and management of Calvin, Paula, Callie, and Nick Gooch. CKI is your local machinery repair headquarters, in the shop or in the field with CKI's mobile unit. They come to you for all types of welding, stick, MIG, TIG, aluminum, stainless, and mild steel. Everything for your trailers from axles and hubs to lights, wiring, tires, and wheels. CKI Equipment and Services on Highway 52 Irvin Road by Shell.
It's been a busy year, so what's on your to-do list?
Serious house hunting, home improvement projects, or maybe a new car or a boat for summer on the lake. For more than a century, your neighbors at Cumberland Valley National Bank have been helping turn plans into reality. Stop by any of CVNB's 3 branch locations in Richmond or Berea and find the right personal, vehicle, or home loan that fits your budget and meets your needs. CVNB, helping turn plans into reality for more than a century. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Welcome back, everybody. If people only knew what happened in the commercial breaks, we'd all get fired. You know, seriously, I told this to Marty Brenneman years ago, and Marty's retiring his – there aren't 10 better baseball announcers in history, and there have been so many great announcers. Have you ever been up to watch Marty do a game?
I have not.
Okay, I've only done it a few times. It is hysterical in the commercial breaks because that broadcast booth is Marty's – he owns the broadcast booth, and there's nothing. I've seen him rip Tom Seaver to the point we were crying, laughing. So if, you know, because you guys all work together, friends, some of the ribbing that goes on in the booth here, it's pretty good, actually.
From the 41-yard line, the Indians take over, now trailing 20-11.
You're not going to done that, are you? This would be a good reality show. You could sell it and make money.
Oh, we could. We could do that for sure. Hand off to Burton, and he's going to lose a yard. What a hit as, again, Daniel Cobb in there to make the tackle along with Levi Benton.
All right, I got to throw these numbers at you. Walter Smith has 110 yards receiving. That includes a 24-yard touchdown and a 73-yard touchdown. And he's thrown a 32-yard pass. He already has himself 142 yards of total offense. That's incredible. And he had around 150, I have in my notes somewhere, maybe it was 130, something like that. I'll get it for you in a second. Coming into today, and 2 were spectacular plays in the first 2 games.
It'll be 2nd down and 11 for the Indians. Centers is going to throw. Pass is broken up. Tobias Storm coming from his safety position to break up the pass intended for William Jacobs. 3rd and 10 on the way. Yeah, coming into tonight's game, Walter Smith has caught 7 balls for 130 yards, 1 touchdown. He had thrown 1 pass. Didn't go very far. It was 1 of 1 for 20 yards. But he's the kind of guy, again, you put the ball in his hands, he'll make plays for you. And we have seen that already tonight. Him and Storm hooking up on several different facets in this ball game. We've still got 2.5 quarters to go.
I wonder where he's going to rank after tonight when it comes to most yards reception-wise in the state. There aren't going to be that many kids who have over 200. There'll be some. and he's got 240 now. We're still in the first half.
Center's going to throw. He's going deep himself. He's got a man. Pass is picked off by Walter Smith.
Oh, my gosh. Walter Smith is everywhere.
With the pick. He's got blockers in front and plenty of space. Comes on the near side. Gets a block from Storm. Smith all the way down. Spins away. Still on his feet. Inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. There are a couple of flags on the play. This will come back. But what a night. What a half by Walter Smith.
Actually, tonight would make anybody's career. Stats. It's ridiculous. And what he did was he read center's eyes. He was not even watching the receiver. It's like he had the receiver out of the corner of his eye, and as centers moved, he moved with him. And sophomores don't make that kind of play to follow the quarterback's eyes.
Walter Smith, my friends, is having himself a ball game. He got the pick. We've already talked about his offensive stats. The interception almost returned it for a touchdown.
So he had a pick, which is taken back. He's caught 2 touchdown passes, and he's thrown a touchdown pass. By the way, he's leading the band at the half.
The Indians' defense going to come off the field. Will this be called back?
You know what he can't do, though? Walter Smith can do everything except out-eat you in barbecue.
I will challenge him in that. Anything else, he will get me at.
Actually, yeah, well, no, but he could use eating a couple pounds of barbecue like that to put on some weight. I don't think he ate more than 2 pounds tonight, Michael.
We're still waiting for the official call from the officials.
I don't know what it is because, Michael, seriously now, I saw 2 flags, one around the 40-yard line, and it was one up here, and I'm looking to – I have not seen them make a call.
They've marked the football at the 20, make it the 31-yard line. That's the first flag marked off. Now the chain gang is moving. They're still going to mark it off. The official still marching down the field. And he will go to the 46-yard line of Madison Central. So the Eagles take over there. It was 2 flags against Madison Southern. So they marked the flags off.
Well, obviously the flags were on the return, so the pick stands because it didn't happen before that. We get that. And it had to be holding. But, Michael, they just lost 40 yards.
Yeah. The ball would have been at the 9. Now it's the 46-yard line.
Plus, we didn't give enough love for the last 15 yards he got between him breaking tackles and being shifty.
Well, he got a great block from Tobias Storm as well.
He did.
And now the officials are continuing to march yardage off. They finally settle at the 44 of Madison Southern. So the official stopped 3 different times to mark the football, finally settles in at the 44, and the Eagles will take over from there. And John Clark is coming out to find out what the heck is going on.
I don't blame John Clark. I mean, I've only watched football for close to 60 years, and I can't figure this out.
And Clark is very unhappy, and I'm sure Glenn and Gary from WL Stats having a fun time with this one as well.
Hey, if our stat guys, if you figure it out, would you please let us know? Have you guys ever seen something like that? No. I'm sorry for yelling on the air, folks, but our stat crew is in a booth next to us.
Yeah, no Hugh Davis tonight. He has actually got his swimming trunks on and is in Hawaii right now, enjoying a nice little spritzer. No, Hawaii is Hugh is actually doing the stats for the Legends tonight, playing the playoffs. So
I tease you, but he does a very good job.
Oh, he's great.
We're lucky to have them and these guys tonight.
Hugh Davis, 40 years of doing stats for EKU. He's been around a long time.
Please don't tell him I said something nice about him. It ruined my relationship with him.
3 receivers for Storm. Walt Smith wide left, one-on-one coverage with Gowdy. Storm will throw a little screen pass out to Jones. He'll make the catch. Breaks the tackle, still on his feet. Down the sideline, still on his feet. And is finally pushed out of bounds. And 3 flags come in. Going to be a late hit against Madison Central.
I'm a little baffled unless my eyes are going crazy. Jones broke a couple tackles down the sideline, and then the Central kid pushed him out of bounds with one hand.
Yeah.
And if he didn't, he scores a touchdown. Did you see anybody hit him after that?
I didn't see anything after that, but there might have been something said to warrant the flag. But now there was 2 officials nowhere near the play that threw the flag. There was one right there that did throw it.
Correct.
But there was 3 flags that came in all after the push was thrown.
I would just like to understand because I do not want to communicate that there was some dirty hit or late. It didn't happen.
1st and 10.
How often do officials these days, you do high school games, we just shot highlights and stuff, talk to coaches, but not like you've done it. How often do officials give you a flag for saying the wrong thing?
In basketball, more often than football.
Right.
They're going to say it was a personal foul, so it was a late hit.
Well, Sam, did you see a late hit?
I didn't. I just saw him push him out.
I thought you were going to say you were getting him barbecue.
The only thing that would make sense here is if maybe he had already stepped out before the push came, and that might warrant the flag.
Could be.
But we're over here.
No. Wait a second. If that's what happened, that it was an intentional push, that's the most logical argument I've heard.
Storm going to throw a quick out to Etheridge here on the near side. Etheridge breaks one defender, but is finally wrapped up. Gaudy pushes him back, and forward progress will give him the 26-yard line. It'll be second down and a long 10, short 11 for the Eagles.
You know what Storm does that I really like on the short passes? He gets rid of it very quickly, and it's a nice, tight, very catchable spiral that he's not throwing 100 miles an hour, and he's getting where these guys can catch the ball. This kid's nice. Does a nice job.
Smith on the near side, one-on-one with Gaudy again. Storm with two receivers right. His fullback, number 37, Isaiah Buttry, is over to the left, lined up in front of Jones. Now Jones goes to the right side of Storm in the backfield. From the left hash mark, Storm will take the snap, and a flag comes in. This could be a delay of game, or did the Eagles call a timeout? The Eagles call a timeout. They lead 20-11, 6:23 to play. We'll step aside for a 1-minute commercial break and come right back on WBONTV.com.
The Estill Clinic and Irvin Healthcare Pharmacies are focused on providing the best care possible for the people of Estill County. Our care for our patients and our community is what sets us apart. With society's fast pace, we want to make sure you leave with the information you need about your medications. With the knowledge and experience of John, Ryan, and Janet, you are guaranteed excellent service, whether you're in the store or pulling through the drive-thru. Taking care of the people of Estill County is our #1 priority. So stop in or give us a call to become a part of our community.
Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling has the largest showroom in Central Kentucky with all the power sports products you can dream of for your next adventure. Gateway Cycles has a qualified, certified service department, friendly sales staff so you can ride free and play hard. Local people serving local people. We are here to make your dream a living adventure. Stop in and see us today at Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling or visit us at gatewaycycles.com.
Back at Madison Central.
You're not going to read that, are you?
Nope.
And now
Jen Marshall
says she loves me. Thank you very much. That's very kind.
We love Cutler. I don't know who we are. That's
I'd like to think I have two people that like me.
All
after
you've done is pick
40
on me
years
tonight, and fans are bragging on you.
Well, maybe people think you need to be ragged on a little bit.
Second down and 11. Here's the handoff to Jones. Stutter steps. A flag comes in. Going to be a hold against the Eagles.
Yep, ouch.
Hard hit again here in the first half. It is 20-11, 6:15 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, I hope these flags kind of diminish on both sides because it's getting a little sloppy, and it's been a pretty clean game up to this particular point. Let's put it this way. If I ate 2 pounds of barbecue like you just did, you would be picking on me. So
no, I would say it wasn't good, which it was.
Looked good, was it?
Oh, yeah. Second down and long for the Eagles. The ball back at the 35-yard line. They need the 15 for a first down. So it's going to be second down and about 21 yards. 4 receivers set for Storm. He'll throw. Looking over the middle, being pressured. Now rolls out and is going to be sacked, and a hard hit from behind. Number 56 of the
Kyran Jackson.
Man, oh, man. He put a saddle on Tobias Storm and rolled him down. Back to the 38-yard line, third and a country mile coming up for Storm and the Eagles.
Yeah, and you know, Michael, it's interesting. They put Jackson in the game, and they also put in number 50, Noah Shipley, backups, and Shipley almost got to the quarterback as well. And I look at both these two kids, and I'm sure you're going to agree with me, they got really good futures. They're already big, strong kids. One's a sophomore, one's a junior, and you know, when both these kids are seniors, Michael, they're going to be pretty darn good. They're also pretty good now. I mean, they beat the good part of Southern's line.
Going to hand it off, just keep it safe on third and long, and Jones is going to get a lot of that yardage back. He gets it down to the 26-yard line, does Jones, and almost back to the original line of scrimmage. They're probably going to go for it on fourth down.
Now, wouldn't you try the same play?
Yeah, I mean,
for the
Jones
touchdown? And why have Smith come around? I mean, it's so obvious, and it probably won't work a second time, but since it works, I'm always of the belief the Green Bay Packers back in the early 60s. They only ran a few plays, and they ran it well, and they would run it until you could stop them.
Well, if there's a way to maybe put another receiver, I mean, whether it be Storm after he pitches it to roll out and come out of the backfield himself, you fake it to Palmer in the end zone, and then you got Storm wide open here on the near side.
You would think it'll be a trick play.
They're going to Throw it over the middle.
Oh!
Picked off. That's picked off by William Jacobs. And not Jacobs, it's number 14, excuse me. That is Chris Olinger, who had a pretty good couple of weeks for the Indians. And Olinger takes it inside the 40-yard line. We have had a lot of big plays tonight, folks, and that time the Indians pick off a pass of their own and take it all the way into Eagle territory at the 35-yard line.
That's just a bad pass because the man was open and he was throwing to a spot, and the offensive player was about 4 yards away, and he threw it right to Olinger. I mean, Olinger was – you had the feeling he was going, really? Yeah. He's throwing it to me? You know, and sometimes, you know what coaches say, at fourth down, don't catch the ball because where it is. Now, obviously, this was brilliant because now Central has terrific field position, and they're down 20-11 with 4:29 to go in the half, and they need to score.
Two receivers right, one to the left. It's 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. They mark it back to the 40. Low snap. Burton has to hold on to it. He almost lost the football and somehow gains 5 yards.
That's one of the better plays of the night for Central because they could have fumbled it. There was a problem on the exchange, like you said. Centers had trouble getting him the ball. He kept on running as he was bobbling it. A good job by Burton not to lose it.
Indians going fast-paced like we saw him do last week versus Anderson County. A pass over the middle. What a catch by Holbrook with the defender, Brock Palmer, literally hanging on to him. Good defense by Palmer, but an even better catch by Holbrook to pick up the first down.
I don't know how Holbrook caught that ball. And the fact that Palmer didn't get called for an early hit and his defense was good makes the catch even better.
1st and 10 from the 26-yard line on the left hash mark.
Why don't they do this hurry up more often? It looks good.
Yeah, it looked really good last week versus Anderson County. Now Centers looks over to the near side. No huddle offense for the Indians. 1st and 10, 3:45.
Is that Ryan Jones? Is that Ryan Jones calling the play?
3:45 to play in the second quarter. Pitches it out to Parks. Parks, good blocking in front. Runs into his own man and stays on his feet for a second or two, but Dane Jackson comes in to make the tackle.
Yeah, he just went the wrong way. I mean, he literally ran into his own man and literally ran into Brock Palmer. And I actually thought he had enough speed to try to bounce it outside. That was his only hope, and he just didn't do it.
They marked the football at the 24, so he gained 2 yards somehow. Good job by Parks to make something out of nothing. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Centers in the offense. Cannon in the pistol. Hands it off to Holberg. Holberg runs straight into a defender. Not much running room there. The offensive line letting Cobb have his way with them here in the first half. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
You know, he got a little bit, but the play was to go to the left. Chris Turpin, the left guard, had a hole open on the left side, and he literally went the wrong way. It's not like he would have gotten a touchdown, but he might have gotten 6 or 7 yards.
Hand off again. It's Parks, and he will get it to the 20. So it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 3, and a big decision here for Mark Centers here in the second quarter. Do you go for it on 4th and short, or do you bring Morin in for it's going to be a pretty makeable field goal for him and try to knock this lead down to 6 with 2:24 to play in the quarter, and it looks like the offense is going to stay out there.
3 wide to the right, 3 to the left, 1 to the right, excuse me. So they're looking offensive.
Mark Sanders wants to talk it over, and he'll make that John Clark wants to talk it over with his guys as the defense will have to stay out there on the field. We'll keep this one right here. It's a big play coming up. 20-11, 2:14 to play, and what a first half this has been here in Richmond.
Yeah, it's been terrific. And by the way, the referee faked me out too because it looked like he was calling it the timeout for Central. Both teams are huddling on the field. I was hoping that we'd have a game, Michael, that's this exciting.
Yeah, it's been
and
fun.
It is.
We got Brian and Amanda Edwards. They said that was clearly a late hit earlier in the game on the near far side.
Okay.
Watching us on our Facebook page.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Justin Banks says he's a state runner-up from the 2018 team from Madison Southern. Ashton Holberg, Go Ashton Holberg, says Tracy Winkler Holberg. And then Dustin Cowell-Smith says, and just like that, the momentum shifts back to the Indians. Roll Tribe as Madison Central picked off the pass. It was Chris Olinker who picked it off. And now the Indians trying to do something with it. They will go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, the only way they get the momentum back is if they score. Okay, they have to score to get the momentum back. If they don't score, momentum stays with Southern because they bent but didn't break.
Big play here, Centers.
I don't like using those cliches.
In the pistol, he will throw. He's got a man. He's going deep, and nobody there. Overthrew it.
That's miscommunication. You know what I like? The Central kid picked up the Southern kid.
So the momentum stays with Southern as they get a stop on 4th and 3. And their offense comes back out on the field. You know, Dane Jackson, the younger brother of Kentucky player Drake Jackson, who played at Woodford County, is doing both sides of the ball duty here tonight for the Eagles.
There's a lot of frustration about him not being recruited by bigger schools. Let's get into that. He's 6 feet, okay? And I know Kentucky looked at him. I know West Virginia looked at him. I know Cincinnati looked at him. I know he went to some of these camps where there were 4 stars and he was deemed the best lineman.
Here's a play by Storm as he'll hand it off to Jones. Jones trying to find a hole, not one there, gains a yard.
And I don't think Coach Clark will be mad with me for saying this. It wasn't an off-the-record comment, but Clark, his background, as you know, is an offensive line coach. And he had Ben Grubbs, who was a great player at Auburn. And he said, this kid is a better player than Grubbs. And I went, whoa, because I remember Grubbs at Auburn. This is a big-time player. He said, I'm telling you, he's better. He said, so I was so upset that the bigger schools didn't want him because he's only 6 feet. He's got a buddy who coaches at Stanford.
And bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Eagles. We'll get back to that point. As Storm in the shotgun will hand it off. Fake the handoff to Jones, keep it himself. And Storm has got enough for a first down up to the 35-yard line.
Let me finish the story on Jackson. So Clark is so upset that the bigger schools won't touch him because he's only 6 feet. He's got a buddy who coaches at Stanford who was in the NFL, sent him the tape, and he said, this kid is great. Okay, you can offer scholarship. He said, I can't go into the coach's room. I'll be laughed at if at Stanford we offer a kid a scholarship on the line that's not 6'4".
Wow.
And so I have this weird thing. If you can play, you can play. So basically, his older brother now might not be at Kentucky or some other schools because he's only like 6 feet also. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Storm pitch out to Jones on 1st and 10. Jones breaking tackles, and he's got a first down.
160 pounds and he's breaking tackle. Here's the other thing on the Jackson kid that drives me nuts. Spending 15 years in the broadcast booth with Dave Lapham, who does a great job color for the Bengals, being a former offensive lineman, he would say it all the time, low man wins. Low man wins. Well, so I have been watching Jackson like a hawk, and for a kid his size, he gets lower. Watch him, he gets lower than everybody else. He's blowing guys off the ball, and he's going to North Texas. And he said, they wanted me there. Yeah, I'm really happy there. They got really good facilities. But I think some bigger schools are going to regret not taking this kid because he's only 6 feet.
1st and 10. Storm hands it off to Jones again, and he only gains a yard. With 30 seconds to play in the second quarter, first half about to end. Madison Central trailing at 22-11. Samantha Burford will talk to Mark Centers and John Clark each at the half. Mark Centers will go first, and then John Clark will be interviewed as the teams come out of the locker room.
It's a fun first half, partner.
10 seconds as the first half will come to an end. Samantha Burford on her way down to talk to to Mark Centers and get his first half thoughts as the Indians trail 22-11. We will head down to the field and hear from Samantha.
All right, Coach, overall, this cross-county rivalry, your team's been playing well. Give us your thoughts on how it's going.
Well, I don't think we've been playing too well, but it's been a great game. We knew it would be. Both teams playing hard. We made a few too many mistakes so far.
Couple of turnovers. Tell us your thoughts on how you'll defend that in the second half.
Well, we're just going to try to go in and calm our guys down, make some adjustments, and let them know we got to execute and play ball. I mean, the only thing we can do is stop making mistakes if we're going to win.
Eagles player Smith's having a great game. How will you defend him?
He's outstanding. We're going to have to find an answer for him.
All right, Coach. Good luck. Thank you. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, you'll have all the halftime statistics. Plus, I'll get to interview Coach Clark right after the half.
Gillum Sports Lounge is the place to go to watch your favorite team, whether it be EKU, Kentucky, or your favorite local high school team on WBON TV. Gillum's has you covered on one of their many flat-screen TVs. Gillum's has something on the menu for everyone. Pizza, burgers, mouth-watering appetizers, subs, sandwiches, salads, and more. And Gillum Sports Lounge is the perfect place to host your next event in one of their private rooms. When you think local food in Richmond, think Gillum Sports Lounge at 830 Eastern Bypass inside the Richmond Mall.
Hometown Dental in Richmond has been serving the people of Madison County for many years. Now when you go to Hometown Dental, you can get everything you need under one roof because Hometown Dental now offers orthodontics. Hometown Dental is a full-service family dentistry dental group with a personal touch. Check out their website, hometowndentalrichmond.com, to learn about their services and staff at Hometown Dental, located at 4095 Atwood Drive, Suite A in Richmond. Mention this ad and get free x-rays or $100 off Zoom whitening treatment at Hometown Dental.
When you're in Estill County and get the hungries, be sure to eat at Estill's Finest. In the mood for the best barbecue, pulled pork, brisket, steaks, ribs, or burgers? Follow the smoke to the House of Q. And for the best pizza, pasta, or salad, head on down to the Steam Engine Pizza Pub. No matter what you're craving, remember Estill's Finest, Steam Engine Pizza Pub on Main Street, or for mouth-watering barbecue, it's House of Q on River Drive in Irvine.
Healthy smiles are confident smiles. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is offering a new patient special. X-rays, exam, cleaning, and fluoride for only $99. They also have a $10 unit Botox special. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offers their patients single-visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with CERAC. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs, from implants, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Kentucky has lots of counties and miles of roads. And in every county, there's a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent looking out for folks when they're on the road. When you're in Kentucky, you're never far away from Kentucky's own property and casualty insurer.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
At Madison Drug, Charles and his staff know your time is valuable and will work to get you in and out quickly. We have a convenient drive-thru and offer free delivery. For vaccinations, just walk right in, no appointment necessary. Madison Drug, Richmond's hometown pharmacy. At Madison Drug, Charles and his staff know your time is valuable and will work to get you in and out quickly. We have a convenient drive-thru and offer free delivery. For vaccinations, just walk right in, no appointment necessary. Madison Drug, Richmond's hometown pharmacy.
We are honored to have David Gillen to join us at the half, and it's the Battle of Madison County, and it's a dandy. Second half will start in about 11 minutes and 45 seconds. 20-11 Southern leads. David is the outstanding superintendent who graduated Madison Central and was athletics director and coached at Southern. So, you know, I know you got to stay neutral, but what do you do on a night like tonight?
You come out and you enjoy the night. You know,
okay.
You just look around, you see our community out here, all the folks that are out here, and it's just a great night. And, you know, what we see tonight, Alan, is what represents all of the good things about public education. You know.
Tell me how public education is going, some of the things you're trying to do, where you guys are at, because I know, I don't care where you are in America, it's tough these days.
Absolutely. You know, you have the challenges, the academic challenges of trying to, you know, move the excuse me there, you know, move us forward academically, but then you also have all the school safety concerns and all of the craziness that's happening in society now, and trying to mesh those two together. It's a challenge.
You know, one of the things that I like that I see tonight, I take a look at the band from Madison Central.
Yes.
It's like they got 800 kids. Obviously a huge exaggeration.
Yes.
The band, the dance team, the cheerleaders. And when the kids came out, they were lined up from the end of the end zone to the 40-yard line, which, you know, playing sports is great, but it's to me, it's always been participation. You got a lot of kids at both schools that are participating. As a superintendent, that has to make you feel good.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, this represents, you know, you see tonight with all of the folks coming out in the community, a band out here from Madison Central, you know, they, right at 300 folks are taking the field right now to do their halftime show. This bunch right here is going to be marching in the Macy's Day, Thanksgiving Day parade.
Wow.
Yes. So,
do you get to go?
About that. I am.
Have you ever been there?
I've been a few times, yes.
It's a special day.
Yes, it is. It's awesome.
And
it's a great
that's the kind of experience you remember for a lifetime.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
As a superintendent, what can you do to put your stamp on the whole community?
Oh, on the community, you know, what I'm trying to do right now is just promote education, promote our schools, make sure that our folks in Madison County see the investment that they're making in education, seeing that investment pay off with improving our quality of workforce in the community, and providing just wonderful opportunities for our students.
It's interesting you call it an investment, because to me the biggest problem in this country, I'm not going to get on my soapbox, is education. And the more kids we educate, the better our society is going to be down the road. It's just not a quick fix kind of deal.
That's correct. And yeah, that's something I often say is education is an investment. It's not an expense. And we have to make that investment in order to reap those rewards. But as you said, it's a few years down the road, because you know, it's not something you just walk into a school, 15 minutes later you walk out, and you know, it's a process over a lifetime.
Okay, so you graduated Central in '86. Since you became a principal, how has the job changed with the the way the world has changed, and how you see it changing even more in the next 10, 15 years.
Well, when I came in, when I started my career in education, we didn't even have email. Okay, so no email, no internet. So so you can see.
Oh my goodness!
Obviously,
you don't look that old.
Well, I'm older than I look. But you see those.
Not for long in your job.
Yeah, but probably honestly today, just to be real honest with you, the biggest change that we're seeing now is the emotional and needs of our very young children.
Interesting.
The impact of some societal things, just those mental health needs and issues with our very young children are really impacting the schools today.
And it's everywhere. Can anybody put a handle on as to why?
No, not really. I mean, you can I can get on my social soapbox and talk about society and all of the things out there, but I think we do a tremendous job in the schools. Our teachers are out here busting their tails every single day, building relationships with kids, doing everything they can with kids. But we also know that value of what happens in the home. And, unfortunately, not all of our children come to us from good home lives. And so trying to close those gaps in that area, in that arena, is just as big of a challenge as closing reading deficiencies.
One of the things that drove me nuts at the end of my TV career, the last 3 years I just got tired of it, and this is not about me, but you have to be dealing with the same thing in your own way. You're on the job 24 hours.
Absolutely.
With getting a text, an email, when you have dinner with your family, I mean, you're going right back to your email. I mean, how many times are you getting a text at 11 o'clock at night where you're going, oh, no, not now, but, oh, I got to deal with this now. I don't think people understand what folks like you have to do that's literally around the – can you talk about not having a life, but your life is this? And you might love it, but you have no life.
Yeah, and that's a good way to describe it. It's really not a job. It's a lifestyle, and you just have to adopt that. And when I became principal, principals face the same things. And when you become a superintendent, it's the same types of issues, just magnified a little bit and on a little larger scale. But there's always things happening. Tomorrow's going to be Saturday, and we're going to have our bands are going to be out there on the road. Things can happen. We're going to have other athletic teams that'll be traveling to play. Situations can come up. Who knows what's going to happen out here in the community over the weekend that might impact school on Monday, and I'll be dealing with that on Saturday night, Sunday afternoon if it comes up. So
toughest part of your job is safety?
Probably right now, it's the biggest. That's the biggest challenge. Is just I feel we do a great job of keeping our kids safe, and school's still the safest place to have your kids. But when you see all of the things that are out
around
there,
the world,
it's a common issue. Just it's a weight that's on your shoulders.
Let's end on a positive note. The most rewarding part of your job.
Looking out here and seeing the kids.
Yeah, it's a cool night.
Absolutely. The band last night, they did their preview show, and they're right in front of us right now. When seeing all the faces of the parents and seeing the kids out there and how excited they were, it's just awesome, and that's the best part of the job.
It was a treat to meet you. I wish you nothing but the best.
Appreciate
good
it.
for you.
Same
Local
to you.
boy makes good.
Thank you.
There's so many people from this community that love this place and come back. You got a tough job, and I wish you all luck in the world.
Thank you.
David Gillum, superintendent. We are honored that he joined us at the half. It is 20-11. Southern over Central in the Battle Madison County. My man, Michael Watkins, Mr. Barbecue, will join us next on WBON.
At People's Bank, we do it all, from personal banking to business banking and lending services. And unlike some other banks, we make all decisions locally. When you don't have time to wait, count on us. People's Bank is the perfect fit for your busy life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
People's Bank, with lots of locations to serve you. Give them a call at 986-6860 and check them out online, whitakerbank.com.
It's tailgate season at Jack Burford Chevrolet. You can pick out your favorite tailgate connected to a huge selection of new Chevy Silverados right here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. Visit us on the EKU bypass, and you can always shop jackburford.com 24/7, 365. Now what game is on? Oh, this is a good one. It's where Chevys cost less.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Need a physical for school or work? Need it right away? No problem! Berea Urgent Care has 2 convenient locations along with late hours to meet your needs. They're affordable too. Physicals at Berea Urgent Care only $20. DOT and CDL physicals are only $65. Berea Urgent Care number 1 by Walmart is open every day 9 to 9. Berea Urgent Care number 2 by Berea Drug open Monday through Friday 10 till 6. No appointment necessary. Berea Urgent Care, here when you need us.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Welcome to Chenault Vineyards, locally grown wine, right here in the heart of Richmond. Chenault Vineyards is a place that everyone can enjoy. Celebrate your next event at Chenault Vineyards, whether it be a wedding, baby or wedding shower, office event, or just a place to gather with friends. You can't beat the venues or the amazing views at Chenault Vineyards. Chenault Vineyards has a restaurant open Friday through Sunday and live music as well. Visit ChenaultVineyards.com to learn more about this amazing place tucked back into the heart of Richmond. Chenault Vineyards.
Back at Madison Central High School, where the Indians trail the Eagles 20-11 at the half. Alan Cutler, Michael Watkins here on the Bishop's Small Engine Repair halftime show. At Bishop's, the variety of outdoor power equipment is second to none. Visit bishopssmallenginerepair.com or visit their store on North Estill Avenue in Richmond and see what everything Bishop's can do for you in Richmond. Alan Cutler, a very interesting first half. A lot of big plays made on both sides of the ball.
All big
by
plays.
Both teams.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that not only is Walter Smith the best player on the field tonight, I don't know what's going on across the state. I will guarantee you there are not 5 better performances in the state of Kentucky so far at the first half. I will bet you a soda pop that you can't drink on the air because you were belching on the air and doing all kinds of bad stuff doing the play-by-play. Did I just rat on you again? Yes, I did. I'll bet you there won't be 5 in the state that will have a better performance than he had all night. Now look at this. Coach Alan Feldhaus is here.
Don't be mean to him.
No. Let me tell you what. His plate is bigger than yours, but you know he's skinny. Skinny. Yeah, but he doesn't have a belly like you do. So
oh
you can
my
get away
gosh!
With that.
Listen.
Hey Alan, you know what? You need to get him in for your 6 a.m. workouts.
We might need a referee in a few minutes too.
He might need. Yeah, see, Coach has a great idea. Great to see Coach Feldhaus. He didn't want to talk to us. He wanted to eat.
He's hungry.
You know what's really bad? It smells really
it
good,
does.
and I
told
can't
you,
eat
man,
any of it.
It was hard. Samantha Burford is down there about to grab John Clark and get the interview with him coming out of the locker room for his first half thoughts. And his first half thoughts should be pretty good as his team leads by 9. Now, here's the thing. Last week at halftime, Madison Southern had a 14-point lead over Pulaski Southwestern and lost in overtime. So the Eagles got to find a way here in this game to hold on to that lead and build up to it. Now, they will receive the second half kickoff as well here in the start of the second half.
I'm glad you said that because I was just about to bring it up. And not only did they blow the 14-point lead, but Southwestern scored in the last, 20 seconds to tie the game. And then they had the guts to go for 2 to win. So it's got to be in their heads.
So here we go. Samantha Burford down there on the field with John Clark. They're coming our way to get the thoughts and get a halftime or into the first half interview with John Clark here as the Eagles lead the Madison Central Indians 20-11.
I bet it takes 10 to make the play work, but he's making the play when we need him to. But everybody's doing their jobs right now.
This is a nice, fun, creative rivalry that we have tonight. Your plans for the second half?
Well, we got to finish the game. Last week we got an end of game and couldn't finish it. This is all about our team finishing a football game. We're dialed in. Everybody knows what we're getting. We know what we're doing. We got to finish the football game. We got to leave this place exhausted.
You've had some fancy plays, some special throws, different things. Any more in the works?
I mean, it's all just part of our offense. We're just opening it up tonight. Starting to get comfortable with the young guys.
We're liking it as fans.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. Good luck, Coach. All right, I'm going to throw it back to you guys, and we're going to take it to the second half right now.
Thank you, Sam. Really good interview, and not only that, what I find is pretty interesting is all the really good comments that are on WBON TV on our Facebook page. We got a lot of people watching, but they're just good comments.
One thing I do want to talk to you about, we have a fan that has been watching us ever since we started doing WBON TV, Maggie Holberg. She's from South Dakota, North Dakota. Her grandson is Ashton. His older brother, Gavin, was a running back here. So Maggie received some bad news earlier this week. I just talked to her son, and Maggie has got some bad news about cancer. She's going to have to start going to the Mayo Clinic. So, Maggie, we want to continue. And,
God bless you, Maggie.
We'll keep you in our thoughts and our prayers.
And you know, I'm not trying to get crazy on you, but I do believe in the power of prayer. And by you saying that, Maggie, one, Godspeed, and two, there's a lot of people watching tonight who don't know who Maggie is, who will say a prayer tonight.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So, Maggie, I don't know you, but I do know Michael, and I do know the emotion he just talked about. So, Godspeed, young lady. We wish you nothing but the best.
So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. That is the grandmother of Ashton Holberg, who is the tailback for Madison Central, and hope she can beat that disease. Yes,
yeah.
Sir. But the first half stats, Alan, look like this for both teams. And very exciting, very interesting first half as Samantha joins us back up here in the press box. First downs, Madison Southern with 10 of those. Madison Central with only 4. The run game and the pass game, everything was working for the Eagles. 268 total yards
to 94.
On 28 plays. They basically almost tripled the amount of offense from Madison Central on only one more play. 28 total plays for Madison Southern, 27 plays for Madison Central.
Well, it's basically all big plays, one. And two, what sticks in my head is Coach Centers was so proud of his kids about how they hit and how they scrapped and how they play defense. I don't think they're not scrapping tonight because I think that'd be an unfair shot. I think they're just getting beat on big plays. And look, play calling and coaching is so important. And for the Southern coaches to pull out that play on 4th and 32, they won't run that play 5 times all year, but only in spots like this. And it's like, okay, now everybody will see the play on tape. They play somebody next. They don't care because they needed it tonight. And play calling and coaching, sometimes we don't push enough as to how important it is, and the kids to buy in for you to be able to do that.
You talked about the quarterback play, how important it would be tonight. Each quarterback has thrown an interception, but Tobias Storm has been money tonight. Again, a very efficient 5 of 6 through the air. Did throw the 1 pick, but has thrown 2 touchdowns and thrown for 132 yards. Cannon Centers only 3 of 12 for 46 yards. And Cannon hasn't really got much help from his wide receivers, but the defense of Madison Southern has forced him to be a little bit uncomfortable, and you can see that he is so here in the first half.
Well, the other thing about Tobias is that, obviously one of them was over 70 yards, but he's really throwing the ball, and it's very catchable. And on both touchdown passes, it was thrown in the perfect spot. And the other thing, folks, I hope the LAXA team was here to get that shot.
Yeah.
Walter Smith's touchdown, he threw it a country mile, but what Walter did, he's about at the 40-yard line, and 2 Central kids were there, and he did a right shoulder, I wouldn't call it a shimmy, but just a fake enough so that the Central kids had to worry about him zigging across the field. You would call it an okey-doke. I don't know if it was big enough for an okey-doke. It wasn't even, if it was a shimmy, I would go with the okey-doke. He just kind of turned his shoulder slightly, and the Central kids had to react. And then as soon as they did that, boom, he was like Roadrunner in 5th gear. And so look at this. Somebody just put on God bless Maggie.
Yeah, and then Maggie commenting as well. Thank you, Michael and Allen and Prayer Warriors. We appreciate you, Maggie, and we hope you get to feeling better and continue fighting.
And let me read the rest of her message. Maggie said, thank you, Michael and Allen and Prayer Warriors. Give Michael all the credit. You overwhelm me. I love you. Maggie, God bless.
Love you too, Maggie. Thank you for joining us.
God bless.
Deb Davis, grandparents of Central's number 17, Jalen Davis. They're watching us from Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
And then
Thank you, Deb.
Seeker Hill says, my son plays for this team as well. So lots of fans hanging out with us tonight that couldn't make it to tonight's game. We are glad to have you tuned in. Second half about to be underway as Morin will kick it off.
Here's Michael.
Nice booming kick once again. It will take an Indian bounce. Indians almost able to recover it themselves. Storm picks it up and is going to be tackled at around the 9-yard line. So tough field position for Madison Southern to begin the drive. That was Etheridge on the return, not Storm.
That was baffling because they let the ball bounce. I don't know why you would do that. Maybe they lost it in the lights or something like that. I'm not trying to rip the kid, but I wonder if he saw it. The second thing is this freshman put the ball at the 5-yard line. And it wasn't a line drive. And when this kid's a senior, I mean, the whole world's going to want to recruit him.
He's a freshman kicker. He's the second best freshman kicker in the state. I want to see who the best freshman kicker is in the state.
Well, there's another great kicker in the state, underclassman Smith, whose dad was an all-SEC punter that I covered about 8,000 years ago. He's really good, too.
Storm going to fake it with the RPO and keep it himself. Tobias, another big carry for Storm as he gets it across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. As a big pickup on first down, and it gets the Eagles out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
And how about Walter Smith at about 155 pounds flying downfield to make a block? He bounced off a Central guy and he got knocked back, but the fact he was hustling that hard downfield to help make a play is spectacular.
59 rushing yards in the first half for Storm to go along with his 132 passing yards. Now Storm in the shotgun again. Tailback to his left. He will hand it off to Holbrook, and Holbrook hit immediately and tackled at the 27-yard line, no gain.
You know, and I think we need to push this even more. Pruitt for Central, after Storm had that big run, he picked him up.
Yep.
And so we're pushing this because we believe it. The sportsmanship on both these sides, on both these teams, is terrific. And some of these kids have been playing Little League ball against each other for most of their lives, right?
It's been a great ball game, both sides of the football, and it's been a very clean game. Clean is the key word here. Second down and about 8 yards for, second down and 10 for the Eagles. Storm hands it off to Jones up the middle. He breaks the tackle, keeps it out. A very nice play by Kyron Jackson to hold on to his jersey, basically, and not let Jones get away. He'll gain a yard. That's it. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Eagles.
Boy, Jackson just was grabbing on. He was not going to let go. He's 5'9" and 225, and I wonder if there are 3 kids on that team as strong as he is.
We didn't say Jackson's name not one time last week. Tonight he's got 4 tackles, 1 sack, and...
You know, we didn't, did we?
No.
And he's played much better tonight.
4 receivers, 2 each way for Storm as he fakes the hike and looks over to the sideline to get the play call.
I hate to say this. Good comment, Michael.
I have a few of those. I was due for one. Storm going to have the quarterback draw. He'll take off. Plenty of space. Will he have enough for the first? He does. As Tobias lowers his shoulder, still on his feet across midfield and across the 50-yard line down to the 49-yard line of Madison Southern. The Indians lost contain, and they lost Tobias Storm, who got a first down.
It looked like Chenault had him on the tackle, and he didn't get run over. He got kind of faked out, and once he beat Chenault, then he got the first down, but it looked like Chenault was going to stop him for like a 4 or 5 yard gain, and I was surprised he got by Chenault. That's not ripping Chenault. I'm giving the quarterback a lot of credit.
Storm is so shifty, and he can like move those shoulders to make you think he's going one way and go the other.
I'm really glad you said shifty.
1st and 10. Tobias hands it off to Jones. Jones finds a hole. He'll gain a few yards down to the 45, and a 4-yard pickup for the sophomore tailback for Madison Southern.
Emmanuel Pruitt with a little stick there. You know, it's interesting in the first half, and I'm going to tell you, I would have guessed there were 12 or 13. There were only 8 penalties combined, but so many of them happened in a short stance. Yeah. I think we need to point out the penalties are not unsportsmanlike and dirty. They just was a little bit of sloppy play. Big differences, everybody knows.
Keep this in mind, Alan, that sophomore Walter Smith, sophomore Jay-Sean Etheridge, sophomore Jones, A.J. Jones, all 3 of those guys got a couple more years to play football for John Clark. It is 2nd down and 6. Here's a flag before the play gets started. See who this is against. So it looks like movement up front from somebody.
And Sam, your interview with the Madison Central band director, David, will be up in a separate video on Facebook if people want to see it?
Yes, this coming week.
This coming week, okay.
Yeah, so for fans that were looking to hear the band during halftime, we are going to have an interview with their coach, their leader, band director, next week on WBON TV, so stay tuned for that.
What planet did you come from? It's been called band director since like 1900.
I didn't play in the band, man.
Well, you should know what it is.
They work too hard.
They do work
very hard. I agree. No, I agree.
2nd down and long. Storm going to throw on the far side. He got a completion to Palmer. Palmer pushed back by Pruitt after a catch. He'll get it down to the 40-yard line for a gain of 7.
And a good tackle by Pruitt because he stopped him from getting the first down.
8:24 to play in the 3rd quarter. We're just underway here. Alan Cutler and myself, Michael Watkins, glad to have you along on WBON TV.
And thank you, Donna, for watching us in Florida. Now, we got people watching us from all over. It's very interesting.
3rd down and 6. A big play here early in this 3rd quarter. If the Indians can get a stop and get the football over to their offense, they trail by 9. Storm want to fake the handoff, keep it himself. First down and more again for Tobias as he breaks through. He could go all the way. Story tries to get to him. He touches the pylon. Touchdown, Eagles! 45 yards to the house by Tobias Storm, and the Eagles are breaking this one open here in the third.
That's just all Storm. I mean, the fake froze Central's defense. They thought it was going to be a play to the right side, and he took it up the middle, and there was an ice hole. And then I didn't know this kid had speed like that. Now, he's not speed like Jones, but he burst up the middle, and then that was just his burners going.
Here's the bad news. Tobias is still on the ground over there by the far side pylon, and he is still on the ground. And they're working on his knee right now.
It looks like his knee. I didn't bring my binoculars because they weren't very good. Maybe I need to get another pair, but I can't tell. Can you see?
Still working on him. The training staff from Madison Southern.
I hope it's a cramp.
Yes,
I'm because remember Walter Smith against Tate's Creek, he was in pain. And some of these kids, and I'm sure it happened to you as an athlete, and you kind of feel like at times you're shot when you have one of these cramps. So I'm hoping it's a cramp.
So the Eagles will kick the extra point, and the big thing here is they might go for two here. If they go for two and get it, it would be a 17-point game. As it stands 26-11, a 15-point lead.
Yeah, this is a kid that has a straight A average, going to be the first kid in his family. He's getting up, getting nice cheers.
How about the crowd tonight? What an unbelievable
it's a great crowd.
Madison County has showed up to support their teams this evening.
This kid can go to places like Center to play football, and he can go to Center because he's got the brains to be the first kid in his family to go to college. It's just a wonderful story of perseverance, and he's played a wonderful – as a matter of fact, if it's not Walter Smith, he's the MVP of the game.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the 1A.
Can't go wrong with either one of them. The Eagles are going to go for two. It'll be Smith who will play the quarterback on this possession.
Michael, excuse me for a second. I like how he walked off.
Yes.
In other words, I don't think you have any problem if you're walking off like that.
Yeah, he's okay. He's drinking a bottle of water, walking over here by himself as Walt Smith will keep it himself on the two-point conversion and get into the end zone. Walter Smith wills his way to 2 points, and Madison Southern makes it 28-11 with 7:49 to play in the third quarter. Folks, we'll be right back in 1 minute on the stations of Wallingford Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
The Estill Clinic and Urban Healthcare Pharmacies are focused on providing the best care possible for the people of Estill County. Our care for our patients and our community is what sets us apart. With society's fast pace, we want to make sure you leave with the information you need about your medications. With the knowledge and experience of John, Ryan, and Janet, you are guaranteed excellent service, whether you're in the store or pulling through the drive-thru. Taking care of the people of Estill County is our #1 priority. So stop in or give us a call to become a part of our community.
Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling has the largest showroom in Central Kentucky with all the power sports products you can dream of for your next adventure. Gateway Cycles has a qualified, certified service department, friendly sales staff so you can ride free and play hard. Local people serving local people. We are here to make your dream a living adventure. Stop in and see us today at Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling or visit us at gatewaycycles.com.
Smart. Welcome back, everybody, on the kickoff. Michael?
Deshaun Gotti will return it. He's got a good return for Madison Central, still on his feet, and finally wrapped up and tackled at the 50-yard line by number 18 of Madison Southern, Jason Coburn. The sophomore makes a nice tackle to end the long return by Gotti.
Now, Sam did something very smart at the half, and I hope you don't mind me saying this. She asked each coach 3 questions. Because if you ask one coach 5 questions, another coach 3 questions, somebody, because there's a rivalry, think you're being biased.
Yes, exactly.
I got a crazy story about that. It's not about you, Sam, so you're safe, about how crazy it is with rivalries.
17-point lead. Indians got to get it going here offensively. They'll hand it off to Burton on the first play. Joe breaks a tackle and falls forward. A nice job by Burton. He was able to jump forward as he was falling and pick up a couple of extra yards, gain of 4, down to the 46-yard line. But how about the offense from Madison Southern tonight? Running the football, throwing the football. Madison Southern football has been really good on both sides tonight, offensively and defensively. And it's been Walter Smith highlighting it all with Tobias Storm sprinkled in to give this Eagles football team a 17-point lead. Here's a handoff to Parks. Nowhere to go for him. He's wrapped up, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for Madison Central.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Southern, because of scoring the points, they are just more fired up right now on defense, and that's Daniel Cobb once again. It's a true story. I don't think Larry will get mad at me. Larry Vaught did a great job with the Danville Advocate Messenger. His dad was a sports editor before there. And when Boyle and Doyle play, it's just, Danville and Boyle play, the whole town is crazy.
3rd down and 7. We'll get back to another Cutler story after this play. Pitch out to Burton. Can he get the first? There's blocking in front. Joe cuts it back, has a first down, has a big hole. Burton cuts it back again. Needing a blocker, he can't get one, and is able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That was all Joe Burton up there.
And Tobias Storm made the tackle, so he's obviously okay. And Michael looks like he's limping a little bit, but he's got a little bit of a leg wrap on him. But the fact that he can play defense, it had to be a cramp. So the week of Boyle and Danville, there'd be people who would count the number of words that he wrote for each team. Number of words.
Wow.
Paragraphs. Did you do one story more on one team than another team?
Oh, fumble. And the Eagles pick it up. Madison Southern picks up the fumble on the quarterback handoff exchange to the tailback. Cannon Center is trying to hand it off to Parks, and the ball just popped out. And a very nice recovery by the Eagles to once again get the football back to their offense. This has been a huge 3rd quarter for the Eagles of Madison Southern.
Yeah, Central looks like they're coming apart a little bit, to be honest. And you couldn't tell if that was the quarterback's fault or the running back's fault. Obviously, somebody messed up with the miscommunication.
Ball was recovered by Levi Benton. And the Eagles have the ball once again on top 28-11 halfway through this 3rd quarter. Madison Central needs to find a spark to get them going like they did in the 2nd quarter. Storm going to fake the handoff to Jones, keeping it himself once again, finds a hole back up the middle, cuts it that way, and is finally tackled by number 44. That's
Chenault.
Tayshawn Chenault, the junior.
So Chenault, who missed him the last time, was not going to miss him this time. It looked like he had a little extra fervor on the tackle because he missed him.
Storm is running all over this Indians defense. Threw for over 100 yards in the first half, and he's ran for well over 100 now in the game.
You know, Chenault's an interesting-looking prospect because he can run. He's listed as 6 feet at 185. He could be 6 feet, 205, and be a really nice small college player. There's a lot of kids on this field with potential.
Yeah. Storm going to hand it off to Jones, and a nice job as Parks gets in the backfield to bring him down. Trey Parks on the tackle.
Yeah, Parks made the tackle, but it's interesting. Central is starting to gamble a little bit more. Sawyer Cruz came from the weak side at kind of a blitzing situation, so they're trying to gamble a little bit on defense because they're down 28-11. You got to try to do something with a little over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Loss of 5, 2nd down and 15 for Storm as he checks over on the sideline for the play call. Trips left, 1 receiver right. Tailback to his left is Jones, who's had a really good ball game himself. Storm going to fake it there, throw it on the screen pass to Smith. Smith. Man, he just found a hole and burst through it as a flag comes in. Dane Jackson might be called for a push in the back here.
There was like no room. He got like 5 yards when there was like nothing there, but just by slicing and angling.
Yeah, Smith that time probably should have been tackled for no gain. But what he did, instead of waiting for the defense to come to him, he went to them and found a hole and was able to pick up some yardage. But the penalty will bring the ball back.
Yeah, I'm in pain telling you what I think because you're going to like it too much. Now, Smith is just a sophomore. You know who he reminds me of? Some guy on your favorite team named Edelman.
Oh, yeah.
And Edelman was a quarterback.
Yep.
And, this kid is an athlete.
He is. He can do it all. The penalty was spot the football at the 30-yard line. But back to your point, Walter Smith is just a football player.
He's just
he's an athlete.
I thought from what we did last year that he might be one of the best players in the state when he's a senior. And you look at this kid now at 160 pounds to do what he's doing as a sophomore on a football field, it's crazy, Michael.
Smith in motion left to right. Now he's got one-on-one coverage with Pruitt on the far side. Handoff up the middle. That is Jones, I believe. And Jackson again pushing as there's some shoving going on. The official gets in. then tells Dane Jackson no more. No flag came in, but there was some shoving after the play.
I think the officials gave a little equity in the bank to both teams since it's been clean to say, okay, guys, let's not have any of this nonsense. I don't know what Walter Smith runs the 40 in. If he ran a 4.5, I think it would have hurt it by now. He's certainly not slow, but, I mean, he really reminds me of an Edelman. And just think, he's strong anyway for a kid his size. Just think after he's lifted for another 4 or 5 years.
Hand off to Jones. Jones gets around the edge. Going to be pushed out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 4th down and 10. We've not seen Southern punt tonight, but we may get our first look at their punter, which is Walt Smith, believe it or not.
Does everything else.
You know those commercials, what can Brown do for you?
Yes.
What can
Walter
Smith
do for you?
Yeah. He can do it all, evidently, tonight. Got an interception. He's got a passing touchdown. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns. He's kicked 2 extra points. He's ran a 2-point conversion in. The only thing he hasn't done is taped up everybody else's ankles that we know of.
How do you know? Yeah, he maybe did it at the half.
Holbrook is back to return the punt. You got to be careful with Smith. He could run it here and try to pick up the first down. He'll turn around, spin around, and kick it. And very nice kick, got a good leg into it. And the fair catch was called for at the 15-yard line.
Michael, it was a bad snap. The kid had to spin around. Never froze, never lost his cool, and calmly punts the ball away well.
Can I ask you a question? What do you think the odds are that John Clark and Austin Newton would let me and you literally just go out and hang out with Walt Smith? He looks like he'd be fun just to hang out with, man. He's had such a good football game tonight.
He really is good. The story that stays in my head is that he was the surprise starter for the arch rival game in his first game on varsity, and he was the point guard.
Yeah.
And Austin,
against Allen Feldhouse and the Madison Central Indians basketball team.
We need to ask him how scared he was that night.
Storm will hand it off. Not much running room. Or make that the Centers will hand it off. Not much running room for Burton. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Unless he's Superman. I mean, think about it. You're a freshman starting point guard in your first
top
game.
Top 10 team in the state.
A top 10 team in the state, and it's your arch rival. And then the difference in his ability to play from the beginning of the year to the end, I'm sure somebody else improved more than he did in the state, but there couldn't have been very many players that improved more from the beginning to the end in all of Kentucky.
Here's a handoff to Parks. Parks able to get it outside. He'll get it across the 20 to the 21-yard line, gain of 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. And Madison Central's offense looking nothing like it did in that 4th quarter versus Anderson County last week when they scored 2 touchdowns before the quarter was halfway over.
I think Central's a little defeated right now. Both teams are 0-2. Nobody wants to go to 0-3. Duh, that's pretty obvious, and it's a rivalry game, and both teams desperately needed to win this game to win more than the rivalry.
Centers got a man open over the middle, and it pass is incomplete. He was looking at Holbrook, but Holbrook, the slot receiver, not once turned his head to look back to the quarterback. That went on the receiver there, and Centers just had to get rid of it. Threw it over the middle. Pass was incomplete.
He was lucky he wasn't picked off one. And the other thing, Holberg was on the outside, wide open. Yeah. Nobody was guarding him because what the defense is doing is they're reading the eyes. So since he looked at this one guy, the defender moved over, and had he just turned away and flipped it out to Holberg, he might have gotten 15, 20 yards. That's the next thing this kid has to improve on, and I've talked about it, looking off a receiver. And he'll get it. He just has to get to that point to get it.
High snap that goes into the end zone. The punter will get it and somehow get rid of it. And the ball will take an Indian bounce and be down to the 32-yard line. Indians catch a break, but the Eagles have great field position to begin this drive. Already with a 17-point lead, the football will go to the 32-yard line.
Jackie Hine did a terrific job on the bad snap. He kept his cool when it could have been a safety. Hats off to him. It wasn't a very good punt. The fact that he got it off at all was pretty good. And then he got an extra about 11 or 12 yards on the bounce. But Michael is right. In spite of the good bounce, Southern, great field position at the 32. And I'm wondering, Michael, if Southern is just going to try to run the ball just to start icing the clock a little bit because it's 28-11. They are in total command, and they have momentum, and they've got better juice right now.
93 seconds to play in the third quarter. Storm has ran the ball himself very well this evening. Man in motion is Etheridge. They'll fake it to him. Storm will keep it. Oh, he was hit hard. What a hit by Parks.
Trey Parks. Boom.
Man, that was a hard hit. Spun Storm around, but Tobias hops right back up and will snap the football. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Eagles whenever they get the play call in.
Yeah, Tobias playing both ways. At the 45-yard touchdown run, was on the field for quite a long time before he got up. We had the fear in the back of his head it might be a knee injury, and we speculated it was just a cramp, and it obviously was. He's got a wrap on it, and the kid's back in the game. You would think they would take him out.
2nd down. They're going to throw a quick pass out to Etheridge. Complete. Etheridge tried to stiff arm a defender. A great tackle by Pruitt as Etheridge is brought down a yard shy of the chains. And 3rd and 1 on the way for the Eagles of Madison Southern with 40 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter.
Michael, Tobias does two things that get overlooked at times as a quarterback. He's very accurate. I mean, very accurate. And the second thing is he's got a tight release. It's really short, it's tight, and he gets rid of the ball quickly. I could see him on a level of center being a really good quarterback. Not good, but really good.
20 seconds to play in the quarter. Storm will keep it himself here, and he's going to be tackled shy of the 1st down marker. And it'll be 4th and a yard whenever we come back. Madison Southern 28, Madison Central 11 at the end of 3 on your People's Bank scoreboard. We'll go back to the station and bring it back here for the 4th quarter, folks. Don't go anywhere. In 1 minute, we'll come back to Richmond on WBONTV.com.
Gillum Sports Lounge is the place to go to watch your favorite team, whether it be EKU, Kentucky, or your favorite local high school team on WBON TV. Gillum's has you covered on one of their many flat-screen TVs. Gillum's has something on the menu for everyone. Pizza, burgers, mouth-watering appetizers, subs, sandwiches, salads, and more. And Gillum Sports Lounge is the perfect place to host your next event in one of their private rooms. When you think local food in Richmond, think Gillum Sports Lounge at 830 Eastern Bypass inside the Richmond Mall.
Hometown Dental in Richmond has been serving the people of Madison County for many years. Now when you go to Hometown Dental, you can get everything you need under one roof because Hometown Dental now offers orthodontics. Hometown Dental is a full-service family dentistry dental group with a personal touch. Check out their website, hometowndentalrichmond.com, to learn about their services and staff at Hometown Dental, located at 4095 Atwood Drive, Suite A in Richmond. Mention this ad and get free x-rays or $100 off Zoom whitening treatment at Hometown Dental.
Lopsided rivalry tonight.
It has been. It's been one way for Madison Southern. Central had some big plays there in the first half. Fumble recovery, interception, but the Eagles have fought their way and they have got a big lead heading into the 4th quarter, 28-11. A big play coming up here, 4th and 2 for Madison Southern.
And if you're just joining us, Walter Smith caught a 23-yard pass, and Walter Smith caught an 87-yard pass, and then Walter Smith threw a 32-yard touchdown pass. It's been the Walter Smith show. It's been unbelievable what that young man has done.
Had a 40-yard punt, ran in a 2-point conversion in, kicked 2 extra points, and now on 4th and 2, we'll see if they go to him again. He's in the slot to the left side.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Storm, hand off to Jones. He's got the 1st down, is hit, tackled, but he's got a first. As he gets it down to the 20-yard line, they needed 2. They got 4, maybe 5. And a 1st down for the Eagles.
See, I didn't lie to you. I told you I couldn't sing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, hopefully we don't lose many viewers because of that.
I hope not. When I was a kid, I had a great voice.
Sorry,
Seriously.
I did too. I actually believe it or not. Listen, you won't believe this.
Solos in choir and all, and then one day I couldn't sing in the shower.
When I was in
You're not touching
elementary
that
school,
line.
middle school, I competed in 2 contests in Renfro Valley.
Really?
I got in.
You got on stage in Renfro Valley?
Came in 4th place both times.
Wow.
Once with a group and once with by myself.
I'm impressed, dude.
There were 4 people in the contest.
Yeah, that's okay.
Here's a pass into the end zone. Storm and his receiver, Palmer, were not on the same page, and the flag comes in late. And Dane Jackson is upset with himself once again as he's kind of pulling out his jersey, looking around with his hands on his hips, kind of shrugging his head. And the officials have talked to Dane a couple of times tonight.
4th quarter now, 11:26 to go in the game, 28-11. Southern dominating. Southern looks like they're obviously on their way to winning their first game in this wonderful rivalry since 2014. Central is 7 and Southern is 2. And as the staff at Southern believe that they shouldn't lose this game every year.
It is a personal foul against Dane Jackson with a late hit after the play was over. So the flag, it's a 15-yard penalty, and it spots the football at the 36-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 36 yards for the Eagles. Pressure coming off the edge. Storm sees it, tries to break a run off, and another nice tackle by Kyron Jackson.
Yeah, and not only that, but they went for the ball, and they were trying to strip the ball. What they're doing now is the old obvious thing. If there's two guys making the tackle, one guy try to rip and strip, the other guy do it. And Tobias did a nice job hanging on as he was falling down, but couldn't break a tackle because they were trying to strip.
It'll be third down. It's third down and about 23 yards at the 33-yard line. It was second down in the last play. Now third down and 23. Storm handed off to Jones. Edgar's wet giving chase. They can't get to him. Now Parks tries to make the tackle. And what about the play by Jones? He lowers that shoulder again into Nate Story. Story makes the tackle, but he pays for it. It'll bring up a fourth and about 12, and the Eagles will go for it again.
Coaches in college will say that's a recruiting play. There's nothing that Central did wrong. Jones was just too fast and too much of a better athlete. He just ran by him. But at 160 pounds, this kid has showed us time after time tonight, he'll stick his head in there and try to get a little bit more.
Fourth and long, Eagles will go for it. Two receivers each way. Storm in the shotgun.
You're so talented. We'll explain why in a second.
Tobias, pressure over the middle, screen pass is caught by Holbrook. Holbrook wrapped up from behind. He's got a first down as he falls forward to the 7-yard line. What a play call by John Clark. They had not thrown a screen pass over the middle all game long. And the even trickier part was they threw it to Holbrook. You would think they might throw it to Jones or Etheridge or Walter Smith, but it's Holbrook who makes the catch and picks up the first down.
You know, on the one hand, you could say, well, save it for another day. But on the other hand, it's a big play. I know it's 28-11, but you could end the game by scoring a touchdown here. By the way, if you see somebody responding WBON TV, that is Michael. He does play-by-play. He is a manager on the site.
That's actually Austin.
That was you, Austin?
Eagles punch it into the end zone as Tobias Storm runs it in 7 yards out. It is 34-11. Eagles all over the Indians in this one.
I'm sorry I gave you credit, Michael, when you didn't deserve it.
Well, you said I was talented. I was like, this is going to be interesting. I thought you were going to say how much food I could eat.
I saw you doing something on your phone, so you're texting a friend while you're doing the play-by-play.
My dad and my mom are staying with me tonight.
Okay.
So.
Hey, since it's your dad, if it was your wife or your dad or your mom, I'm good with it. If not, I'd put you on probation.
So the two-point conversion, or the extra point pending from Walter Smith. A high snap. Storm gets it down. The kick is up. And it's no good. Wide left. Finally, Walter Smith couldn't do something right, but he's been pretty good all night long. The kick wide left, and a late flag comes in. A couple of late flags come in.
Yeah, I'm starting to not like this. These kids have been clean. We've now had a few late hits later in the game. I get that there's frustration, and I hope both coaches kind of talk to the kids and say, you know, guys, we run clean programs. I'm not ripping the programs. I think there's just a little frustration going on.
10:08 to play. Indians trail 34-11, folks. Back in 1 minute on WBONTV.com.
Need a physical for school or work? Need it right away? No problem. Berea Urgent Care has 2 convenient locations along with late hours to meet your needs. They're affordable too. Physicals at Berea Urgent Care only $20. DOT and CDL physicals are only $65. Berea Urgent Care number 1 by Walmart is open every day 9 to 9. Berea Urgent Care number 2 by Berea Drug open Monday through Friday 10 till 6. No appointment necessary. Berea Urgent Care, here when you need us.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cutler, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
34-11, 10:08 to play in the fourth quarter. Madison Central will receive, and the Eagles have to kick off from their own 25-yard line because of the late flags that came in on the personal foul after the play was over. A little onside kick again. You can't onside kick on a kick like that, so they're going to have to get a flag coming in there.
Actually surprised they would onside kick up 34-11.
Well, their normal kicker not playing tonight for off-the-field issues, so trying to find that guy that could fill in. And, Walter Smith has done a good job kicking the extra points. He did miss one the last time out, but he's kicked 2 in tonight. So trying to find the guy to fill in for their normal kicker, who is not playing again tonight, and the kickoff will now come from the 20-yard line.
I just hope the Central coaches don't think that was done as a normal onside kick.
I think they know.
Both sides usually know what's going on with these kinds of deals if somebody's not playing, especially in the same town.
So Gowdy is back to return. And much better kickoff here as Gowdy will take it from his own 38-yard line. Gowdy down the near sideline. He's got a nice return. Still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Madison Southern. And that's where the Eagles will bring their defense out, try to hold on to a 23-point lead here with 10 minutes to play in the ballgame.
And you can see that it's getting a little chippy. Not bad, but just a little frustration. Understandable. Nobody wants to be 0-3. Nobody wants to lose this rival game.
It's kind of salt in the wound whenever you tack on the loss to your in-county rival and the fact that you're going to go to 0-3 on the season and have to go on the road next week to play a pretty good team in the Doc Sipple Bowl.
And we're on a little early next week. You want to explain that?
Yeah, so next week during the Doc Sipple Bowl, Madison Central will play at 5:30. Madison Southern will play in the nightcap. Both those games will be live here on WBONTV.com, but the Indians will play in the first game. Both those games are going to be played over in Berea at Madison Southern. If you can't make it out, you can hang out with us on Friday night on WBON-TV. Here's a handoff to Burton. He'll gain a couple of yards. Now Parks coming in. Not a good night for Joe Burton running the football. 10 carries, 43 yards before that handoff. So 11 carries, about 45 yards for little Joe Burton.
And he's got a little limp coming off. And if you think about it, most of his runs are short, but he's done a very good job the first couple of weeks of breaking something, which makes his average better. And he's just hasn't had that much room. And a lot of times, some of his big runs he's basically done on his own.
Pitch out to Parks. Good blocking. Parks at the 15-10, stays on his feet, finally tripped up and brought down at the 2. They're going to say inside the 1. Inside the 1-yard line, and now they back it up to the 3-yard line.
And I'm sure there'll be Central fans saying, where has this been all night? A nice quick pitch. The blocking was good, and this kid's fast.
Yes. Sophomore.
It's a nice combination, Burton and Parks.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see as the season goes on if Parks starts getting more carries than Burton. I'm going to guess yes for 2 reasons. You want him?
Centers. Hands it off to the fullback. That's McAlpin. Not much room for him. The ball came out. It was going to be close. They say that he was down before the fumble.
Well, 2 things. One, the Burton kid is all guts as far as I'm concerned. But to play a full season, as many carries as he's getting as he just limped off, if he doesn't wear down, he's Samson as far as I'm concerned. And the second thing is, as good as Burton is, Parks, I think, has more potential.
Yeah. And Parks is younger, so whenever you look down the rest of the future, you want to kind of give this kid some experience running the football.
And I think it's smart how they're dividing up now. It'll be interesting to see as the season goes on how it works out, because he's got a burst now.
Second and goal from the 3, and a jump off sides by Daniel Cobb. So they'll move the football inside the 2-yard line now, and Madison Central will have it as a second and goal at the 1.5-yard line. This is a spot where we thought we might see Edgren Sweat. Not to this point. Sweat has not checked into the ball game, but they do have Edgren listed as their third running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Burton, then Parks, then Edgren Sweat. He's more of the power back. No, not in there tonight, as Ashton Holberg will lined up behind the 2 fullbacks.
And if Sweat wasn't so good defensively, don't you think he'd be the starting tailback? Yes. Too strong.
Centers will hand it off to Ashton. Ashton, did he get across? No signal yet. And there it comes. Touchdown, Madison Central. Ashton Holberg scoring 1 for his grandma. And a player down on the field for Madison Central. Grabbing an ankle is the player down on the field. 7:44 to play in the 4th quarter, and the Indians tack on some more points.
We got a kid down. I can't see who it is. Can you?
I can't see the number 10 offensive lineman, too. Yeah. Looks like it might be. I don't see Turpin. So it might be the left guard, the starting left guard, Turpin, who is down on the ground right now.
I tell you what I don't like is that the Central kids are kneeling down as a respect, and the Southern players have even walked off the field. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, this could be.
This scares me a little bit. If you're literally having the Southern kids go off the field, they're taking a water break because they know it's going to be a little bit, and now you got Coach Centers is out there. You've got a couple other coaches. You have a referee checking in. I'm assuming that's a team doctor.
Yeah, the team trainer is Jacob Waldecker. He's down there on the field as well. But he is a knee issue. While they're checking on him, we'll take a short commercial break, folks, and come right back. Take a 30-second break and be back on WBONTV.com.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Back to action here as Madison Central's fullback, that is number 20, McAlpin.
Who made some really, really good blocks tonight, and he's being helped off the field, carried off, and he's putting almost no weight on that leg.
Yeah, Cameron, a really good player. And again,
he's tough. Tough blocker.
A junior, another defense, another young underclassman, and he cannot put any weight on that left leg, so that's not good to see.
And his leg isn't exactly straight, and he's obviously in pain, and we wish him nothing but the best. Sam is going to try to find out. The problem is, he's in a lot of pain. The problem is when, Sam will get what she can get information-wise, but often they don't know right now, and the other thing is they really don't want to speculate out of respect to the young man.
So the Indians are going to go for two, try to trim this lead down even more. 34-17 as the offense will remain out there. Jacob Waldecker, the trainer, will check on McAlpin as he comes over to the Indian sideline. Pistol formation.
They've got a cart like I think all schools now to cart him off.
Going to throw into the end zone. 2-point conversion, no good as John Lansall can't make the catch. 34-17, Eagles in front. 7:44 to play in the ball game. We'll step aside for 1 minute and come right back on WBONTV.com.
Who's the
CKI Equipment and Services is now open in the former location of Metcalf Metal, but with all new ownership and management of Calvin, Paula, Callie, and Nick Gooch. CKI is your local machinery repair headquarters, in the shop or in the field with CKI's mobile unit. They come to you for all types of welding, stick, MIG, TIG, aluminum, stainless, and mild steel. Everything for your trailers from axles and hubs to lights, wiring, tires, and wheels. CKI Equipment and Services on Highway 52 Irvin Road by Shell.
It's been a busy year, so what's on your to-do list?
Serious house hunting, home improvement projects, or maybe a new car or a boat for summer on the lake. For more than a century, your neighbors at Cumberland Valley National Bank have been helping turn plans into reality. Stop by any of CVNB's 3 branch locations in Richmond or Berea and find the right personal, vehicle, or home loan that fits your budget and meets your needs. CVNB, helping turn plans into reality for more than a century. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Sam is down on the field, see if she can get some information, which is a very difficult thing to get anything. I probably shouldn't say this, but I saw a Central coach point at his ankle when talking to someone. I'm assuming that's what he was trying to communicate, but honestly, I don't want to speculate because I don't know, Michael.
Onside kick from Madison Central, and it looks like it's recovered by the Eagles, and some pushing and shoving going on after the play once again as Walter Smith, wouldn't you know it, recovers the onside kick, and the Eagles will take over from their own 49-yard line.
And, Michael, let's give a big shout-out to our stats crew.
Yeah, WL Stats, Glenn Davidson and Gary Bell.
They've got Tobias Storm. What a night. You talk about balance. Through the air, 164. Rushing, 166. 166 yards rushing. I mean, you're talking about 330 yards total offense. Spectacular night. And I got to tell you, he's the best quarterback we've seen together this year. Would you agree?
Well, ball is loose, and as we say that, Storm fumbles it on the quarterback-halfback exchange, able to fall back on it.
Is that the Cutler jinx? But think about it. We had the kid from the first game who's had scholarship offers from Ivy League school, the Connor kid, right?
Yep.
Collins. No, Connor.
Connor, yeah,
excuse me.
yes.
I apologize. And nice quarterback. This kid is better.
Yeah. Yeah, and Storm has played so much better tonight compared to that first game versus States Creek. He made a couple of nice passes, but he has been by far, him and Walter Smith, the two best players on the field tonight.
Well, the offensive line has done a better job tonight than they did against States Creek.
Lost a 3 on the fumble. Now here's a handoff to Jones. He gets the 3 yards back, and that's it. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Indians. Samantha Burford trying to get an update for us down on the sideline as Cameron McAlpin injured in the game.
By the way, that was Caden Ellington with a nice tackle, another junior.
From the 49-yard line, 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right.
34-17 Southern lead Central.
Storm going to hand it off to Jones, running left. There's a hold, no flag, still holding on to him. Not going to be enough for a first down.
Are you saying that Clay Bunch held?
A couple of times.
You know, I thought you were going to say for a couple seconds.
Yeah, he did.
I think the refs at this point just want to clean and let's go home. If you're just joining us, it was the Walter Smith Show. First, a 23-yard touchdown catch, then an 87-yard touchdown catch, which the catch and run was spectacular, and the pass was right on the money, too. And then he threw on 4th down a 32-yard touchdown pass to Brock Palmer. The kid has been, to say spectacular is unbelievable. You know, I wonder what his total yards are. We'll get the next break versus Tobias Storm.
I don't know if I don't think Smith has done anything here in the fourth quarter, but coming into the fourth quarter, 116 receiving yards on only 3 catches, and he had thrown for the 32-yard touchdown pass. The layup game against the Eagles, I think they did that on purpose to kind of give them some extra breathing room on the punt.
I think that's exactly what they did.
It's 5:33 to play. The clock stops with the penalty as Samantha Burford working feverishly down the sideline to find out the injury update on McAlpin.
You're working her hard tonight. Is this because she wouldn't get to that plate of barbecue?
Me and Samantha go way back.
I know. You guys are like brother and sister.
Samantha's down on the field.
All right, guys. Well, we just checked in with the trainers, and it is his left ankle. They are icing it. They just had a nice conversation with his mom. So we're going to send it back up to you guys. He is doing okay, and what's nice is all the players are coming over and giving him lots of hugs. So he's doing all right.
Thank you, Samantha Burford, for the update on Cameron McAlpin as the punt was returned for the Indians, and they will take over the football.
You know, that's really cool. 1, we're optimistic that he'll be fine.
Yes.
He'll be in pain tomorrow, but fine. And 2, the fact that they had a nice conversation with his mom. See, that's the part about doing this. You're dealing with people. So, you know, moms and dads want to know what's going on. So, and that his teammates are coming over and checking on him and stuff like that. He's a tough kid. I mean, there were a couple runs that happened tonight that the running back needs to say thank you very much.
Yeah. So the football going to be spotted at around the 7-8 yard line. There was a flag after the play.
You know, Michael, he's listed as a tight end, but he's really more like a pulling guard because he's not catching the ball, but he's a tough kid, and they ran on his side a number of times tonight. And I think the defense knew they were running on his side, but he still made the block.
Another personal foul penalty, this one on Madison Central. We've seen too many of those tonight in this football game. Rivalry game, Central-Southern, and there has been too many of those here late in this ball game. But again, the frustration being shown by both teams, really, even though Central trailing it here 17 points, 34-17, with the football at their own 8-yard line. Centers will hand it off. It's Burton. Good space for Joe. Tobias Storm makes the tackle.
Another late hit.
And 2 flags come in.
Yeah, Clay Bunch got hit after the whistle. He's a defender for Southern. It's a pretty obvious call. It's pretty obvious when after the play is over, you see a kid going flying.
So you get all that good yardage, and it's taken away on the penalty. And Central really just falling apart here in this one. Thank you to Samantha Burford for going down on the sideline and Hopefully we don't have to pay her for an extra interview tonight. But
hey Sam, do me a favor, pick up the mic. One, I thought it was really terrific that you included in the information that they talked to his mother, and two, the sense we got out of it is that, okay, the kid's got a sprained ankle, but it seems like he's going to be okay. Of course, it's too early to tell, and you can find a little about tomorrow. And I'm stalling because you're learning how to turn on a microphone like Michael drinks Pepsi.
No, I was trying to turn on the mic. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's sprung or if it's broken, but yeah.
Okay.
They were having a nice conversation with his mom. I didn't want to interrupt
and
butt in out of privacy to his family. But, you know, they're going to have trouble getting him home, I'm sure. He can't put any weight on it.
Can't put any weight on it. Well, and sometimes a break is better than a sprain, but did he look like he was in great discomfort?
He did, but it was comforting to see how many of his teammates came over and was giving him hugs and just compassion. It was nice. Team.
What you want to see.
Lots of teamwork.
Sam, seriously, really good job.
Thank
you.
Mark Center's livid after the flag came in. He was complaining to the near side official about the flag call, and the official was literally standing next to Mark, getting an earful, L. Allen Fieldhouse style right there. It's 1st and long for the Indians. They're going to hand it off to Burton again, left side. Joe finds another nice hole, cuts it back, another spin move, and has the first down. As he gets it across the 20 and up to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down for Madison Central as the clock winding down here in this one. 4:42 to play. Madison Central just trying to put some more points on the board and make this score a little bit more respectable. It has been a long night for Indians fans as the Eagles have come in here and had their way offensively and defensively against a pretty good Madison Central team. That'll be a flag. No hold.
The ball was tipped, and lucky it wasn't picked off. And by the way, Sam wasn't here, so I need to tell her that I unfortunately was very honest that when Alan Feldhaus walked through, his plate of food was bigger than Michael's, which I pointed out to Alan. But, you know, it was interesting, but this one to my left had 2 plates. And it was funny that Feldhaus could eat more food, and he looks like in shape. And I suggested to Feldhaus that maybe Michael should be at the 6 a.m. workouts.
Listen, 6 a.m. I didn't know there was a 6 a.m.
With the barbecue you ate tonight, son, you need a workout early in the morning.
So hurtful.
I'm trying to help you out. You tell me you want to lose weight. Look
Another personal foul penalty. Man, boys, come on now, guys.
Yeah.
Listen.
Come on, guys. Seriously. They are tired. They're tired. They're cranky. We bragged on you guys about doing this the right way. Don't make Michael look bad.
I mean, I understand. Listen, when I was a basketball player back in the day, any time that it started going negative, the cheapness began, and a lot of times I was the guy that started it.
But we also understand when you played, there were peach baskets.
Well, they didn't have baskets when you played there.
No, they didn't, actually. No, Abner and I were pretty good friends. Long pass.
And it's going to be picked off. Or was it?
It was.
Incomplete.
Oh, dropped
John Clark is saying that it was picked off. Storm had went up high to go get it. It came out as he hit the ground. It popped back up into the air, and Aiden Willis, the junior, was right there. He says he grabbed it. The officials say no, it's incomplete, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
That would have been a touchdown. He'd not overthrown it. William Jacobs, the basketball player, was deep 4 or 5 yards, had to stop for the pass. Had he led him, it was an easy 6 because they're not going to catch Jacobs.
Earlier you said that Centers should put more air into the ball. That time he put too much air into the ball.
Yep. Well, I'm giving the kid a break. He's down right now. You know, you're losing to your arch rival.
Hand off to Parks. He gains a yard, and that's it, up at the 40-yard line.
Let me touch on the touchy topic we really haven't pushed a little bit. I've mentioned it this year. But, you know, it's not easy being a new quarterback after you had a wonderful team. It's much tougher being the coach's son.
Yeah.
And he's under a lot more pressure than people realize. And you know what his dad told me? His dad said he told his son, hey, goes to the territory. You got to deal with it, which is the right thing to say. And I still think this kid's going to be a really good quarterback. He's got the makeup. He just needs to get more snaps.
Here's the pass out to Lansaw. Lansaw wrapped up. Ball came out. Player was down before so.
See, this is what I'm doing. I look at Tobias as a senior, okay, and how smooth he is. And I'm trying to picture Centers as a senior next year at this time when I think so many of these kinks will be gone out of his system.
And a lot of these guys will be back, too. I mean, you got a lot of youth with Parks and, you know, Sweat might see some more offensive snaps next year, even though he's going to be really good defensively.
Well, they're going to have a little problem. When you're 0-3, I don't care who you are, there's going to be a little problem keeping everybody as excited, and that's going to be a job for the players on the team and the coaching staff, and I'm sure Coach Centers will address it. You're 0-3 now, and you've just lost to your rival. We've got a Southern kid down, and that looks like a cramp.
It's Walt Smith.
Yeah, well, he had a bad cramp against Tate's Creek, and I can't remember if it was the same leg or not. Can you?
I do not remember.
Do not remember.
Right leg or no. That's what they're working on, though. It's exactly what it is. It is a cramp for sure.
And, you know, he's getting rubbed at the same spot he was when he was down here. The only good news is he was in huge pain against the Tate's Creek game. It was also a lot hotter. And now he just looks like he has cramps. I think that young man should be given 2 big bottles of Gatorade right now.
Him and Storm both.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, chug the first one and enjoy the second one. Get some fluids in you, young man. And you know, as he walks off the field, look how he's not a big kid, Michael.
No. And we do want to point out that tomorrow, we have not mentioned it yet, but tomorrow, for the first time ever, WBON-TV is going to have a Berea High School football game broadcast tomorrow. Aaron Stepp and the Berea Pirates with the best record in the county right now. They're 2-0. They take on Caverna tomorrow. And football fans, if you can't make it out there, which I suggest you do, get to Berea High School and support the Pirates. But if you can, we will have the live broadcast tomorrow for you at 2 o'clock right here on WBON-TV. Here is handoff up the middle, and that is Centers handing it off to Burton, excuse me. Going to be close to a first down. No signal yet. And it's going to be, looks like it's going to be 4th down. We might see a measurement. We are. 3:09 to play. The chain gang will make their way out, and we're going to have a measurement as Madison Central trails at 34-17 against the in-county Madison Southern Eagles. A rivalry game. Central had a pretty good 4th quarter last week. Tonight, they already got 1 score on the board, trying to make it 2 and cut this game down to about a 10-point lead. And it'll be a first down as the chain gang comes out.
Now, maybe because they're up 34-17, Michael, there's only 3:09 left to go in the game, but it doesn't look like many, if anybody, from the southern side is left. And I got to tell you, even though Central's obviously on the wrong end, they still got a lot of fans here.
Yeah.
And that's a credit to the fans here at Central as well. It's easy to stay when you're winning against your rivalry 34-17. But, you know, as we look at the folks in front of us, and some of the kids are leaving now, which is fine. I mean, I credit them for staying as long as they did.
There's a handoff to Burton again. Joe runs over a defender across midfield down to the 49-yard line, gain of 3. Madison Central with 2:50 to play. They'll fall to 0-3 on the season before playing next week in the Doc Sipple Bowl. There's a fight broke out on the field, boys. And again, we did not want to see this. As the ball was thrown out there, a couple of pushing going on after the play. Dane Jackson and Holberg. And it cuts a couple of veteran guys. You hate to see that, but.
Well, one of the Central players just kind of threw the ball hard back at the official.
You can see the frustration really starting to boil over here for Madison Central.
Yep.
And I like what Mark Centers has done here. Centers is a classy guy. You will not see many better than him. He calls the timeout. He's going to try to calm his guys
I bet
down,
he is.
And they're going to probably get a good chewing here during the timeout.
Yep.
If they get the timeout, we will step aside as well and come back in 1 minute on WBONTV.com.
The Estill Clinic and Irvin Healthcare Pharmacies are focused on providing the best care possible for the people of Estill County. Our care for our patients and our community is what sets us apart. With society's fast pace, we want to make sure you leave with the information you need about your medications. With the knowledge and experience of John, Ryan, and Janet, you are guaranteed excellent service, whether you're in the store or pulling through the drive-thru. Taking care of the people of Estill County is our #1 priority. So stop in or give us a call to become a part of our community.
Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling has the largest showroom in Central Kentucky with all the power sports products you can dream of for your next adventure. Gateway Cycles has a qualified, certified service department, friendly sales staff so you can ride free and play hard. Local people serving local people. We are here to make your dream a living adventure. Stop in and see us today at Gateway Cycles in Mount Sterling or visit us at gatewaycycles.com.
Back at Madison Central High School, it'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Indians. Center's going to roll out left. He's being chased. He'll throw. Pass completed to Holberg, and Ashton is going to hang on to it and pick up the first down. He's inside the 40 and down to the 39-yard line.
He got taken down by like 4 Southern players. And by the way, clean. Let me emphasize clean, but they got him hard. 34-17. Southern is going to go to 1-2. Central will go to 0-3.
Tomorrow, Berea takes on Caverna. That game going to be our first ever Berea High School football broadcast. Then next week, Madison Central will play Lexington Christian Academy, followed by Madison Southern and Danville over in Berea for the Doc Sipple Bowl. Here's a handoff to Burton down the left sideline, and Joe going to be tackled as he gets across the 30 and down to the 27-yard line.
And I like how Burton had 2 hands wrapped around the ball when he knew he was going to down. So even though it's 4th quarter and lopsided, he's staying with his fundamentals and doing the right thing, because you don't want to, I don't care if you're losing, you don't want to go back to your coach getting the ball stripped.
Centers will throw it out, complete to Holberg. Ashton, a pretty good evening so far. The ball came out, and did the Indians jump back on it? They did. Flag comes in late as the chirping continues. And we'll see if this one is against Madison Central or Southern. I believe it'll be against the Indians. And again, not what you want to see late in this ball game. A good, clean game. It was a fun game for most of it. But here late in the ball game, a lot of personal foul penalties. There's another one called against Madison Central. A sea of flags here in the 4th quarter, and we talked about it, 8 flags through the first half? We've had 8 here in the last 2 minutes.
It seems like it.
Well, they're going to give me a penalty count.
Yeah, Michael, this just bothers me. There's too much good going on here to have this.
It'll be first down at about 17.
You know what I'd do if I was center? Seriously, sorry for stepping on you. I would take a knee. So it's 1:33 to go. Just take a knee so nothing silly happens. But they're obviously looking to throw the ball.
13 penalties against Madison Southern, only 6 against Madison Central, but it seems like all 6 have been here in the last few minutes. Here's a pass complete to Lansaw as he falls backward down to the 10-yard line. A nice pass from Centers to John Lansaw.
Was a nice pass, but had he let him a little better, it would have been a touchdown. And I guess I should take that back. You're getting the kid practice for throwing the ball deep. But my whole point was you don't want any more of this unsportsmanlike nonsense.
In a hurry are the Indians. Minute 10 to play. They're going to pitch it out to Joe Burton. Trying to find a blocker. He does. He's tackled from behind. That's number 7, Levi Benton, who's had a pretty good ball game so far. And the Indians are going to call a timeout.
Ooh. Well, you know, the other side of the coin is if you're not here and you haven't watched the game or listened to us and you see the score tomorrow, and if Central can score to make it 34-24, it really looks a lot better if you don't really know what happened, and the fact that Southern dominated the game. I mean, they really dominated the game. It was a really, I thought it was a lot of fun, exciting game in the first quarter, and then, you know, Southern with Walter Smith, they just took over. And I don't think so much as that Central was bad. I think Southern was just that good tonight. I mean, that play by Walter Smith on that 87-yarder was just spectacular. I mean, I don't know how you can defend that. You can't blame. I don't blame the Central kids for that. Sometimes somebody just makes a better play and you tip your hat.
34-17, 1:02 to play, and the Eagles fans across the way celebrating as they are fired up. It's going to be the 3rd win for Madison Southern over a Madison Central opponent on the year. Southern beat them in girls volleyball. Earlier this week, they knocked them off in soccer, and then tonight, Southern in football knocks off the Indians. The final score to be determined as the Indians will try to trim this lead down here with a late score. 1:02 to play, 34 Eagles, 17 Indians. Centers will throw. He's looking over the middle. He will throw, and he had a wide open man, just missed him. That was Holbrook in the back of the end zone, just threw it too high.
He's got to work on his arc a little bit. That'll come with time. So when Southern wins in volleyball, is it just as good as football or close?
The volleyball game, let me tell you, last year I was there for one of the volleyball games.
Intense?
Pretty impressive.
I bet. Just because I've said this forever, volleyball doesn't get the attention from the media, doesn't mean it's not as important.
Handoff to Parks on the stretch play, and Parks punches it into the end zone. A nice run by Adrian Parks to score for Madison Central. 34-23, Southern on top with 51 seconds to play.
I like the Central fan who just yelled, "Here we go." You think a lot?
He has not stopped yelling all night. Whoever that man is down here below us, credit to him. He's going to have to drink some water tonight and clear his voice up.
He's got better vocal cords than I got.
5:09. Edgren Sweat coming in to block for the PAT as Morin will get some work. Morin kicked the field goal earlier in the contest.
So how crazy would it be if Central onside kick gets the ball, go back and scores quickly?
Still need another score. Got a last long way to go. 51 seconds to play, and the Eagles call a timeout. Let's take a timeout with them, folks. We'll step aside for 1 minute and come back on WBONTV.com.
Gillum Sports Lounge is the place to go to watch your favorite team, whether it be EKU, Kentucky, or your favorite local high school team on WBON TV. Gillum's has you covered on one of their many flat-screen TVs. Gillum's has something on the menu for everyone. Pizza, burgers, mouth-watering appetizers, subs, sandwiches, salads, and more. And Gillum Sports Lounge is the perfect place to host your next event in one of their private rooms. When you think local food in Richmond, think Gillum Sports Lounge at 830 Eastern Bypass inside the Richmond Mall.
Hometown Dental in Richmond has been serving the people of Madison County for many years. Now when you go to Hometown Dental, you can get everything you need under one roof because Hometown Dental now offers orthodontics. Hometown Dental is a full-service family dentistry dental group with a personal touch. Check out their website, hometowndentalrichmond.com, to learn about their services and staff at Hometown Dental, located at 4095 Atwood Drive, Suite A in Richmond. Mention this ad and get free x-rays or $100 off Zoom whitening treatment at Hometown Dental.
Back to Madison Central High School. The Indians will swing the gate. Two guys fall down.
What's the purpose of that? See, I'm sorry. This is a swinging gate thing that you love. You got 55 and 74 falling down. What is the purpose of that?
Well, now you get the extra yard, and you can go for two.
So if they get two now, you're going to say it was worth it. Here it is, Michael.
So here we go. They're going to sit. They pitch it out. They're going to go for it. It's going to be ran in and scored by Nate Story, and he was hit hard. That was a late, bad hit after the play as Nate Story ran in the two-point conversion. He was hit hard after the play, and again, the sloppy, the extracurricular stuff that we don't want to see continues to come across on the field.
No need for that. The kid was 2 steps in the end zone. Throwing a kid out now with this little time to go in the game really doesn't mean a lot. It'll affect the next game. Yeah. But I'm surprised there have been a couple kids that they didn't just grab these kids and say, look, next guy who does this, we're just going to throw out. And go to the coaches first and tell them.
Yeah. 34-25, 51 seconds to play. A fun night here in Richmond. I tell you what, Eagles fans have got to be happy with the way their team has played. 0-2, each one of these two teams, 0-2 coming into tonight. But this Madison Southern team did not look like an 0-2 team tonight.
Well, they could win next week, right?
They should.
Okay, so they could be 2-2, and the truth is they will always believe they blew last week's game. They had a 14-point lead, and then the game gets tied up with less than 30 seconds to go. And how about the first-year coach of Southwestern having the guts to go for
in
two
overtime
in his first game?
Yeah,
his first game. I mean,
Morin will kick off. Eagles expecting an onside kick. Jones is back to return, but the hands team is in there for the onsider.
As they should.
Morin kicks it off. Walter Smith, as he did before, catches it, takes a knee.
You know, you've seen this. There are certain people, the ball, it's like a magnet. It just comes to them. Of all the people that it comes to, it's, of course, Walter Smith. Wouldn't you say, like, don't kick it to Walter Smith?
Well, it's...
Of everybody.
Yeah.
Don't you not want to kick it to Walter Smith?
Yeah, we're a couple of knees away from Madison Southern.
I hope they take a knee.
Making this a 3-7 rivalry record against their in-county rival.
I'm going to get mad if they don't take a knee, and I bet they do take a knee.
Yeah, they're in victory formation
Yes.
here. Walt Smith getting the crowd fired up, putting his hands up in the air to get the team and the fans riled up as they try to close out this victory here against Madison Central on the Indians' home floor.
And he's got the Southern crowd up. He got him going.
Storm takes the knee for the first time since 2014. For the first time since Damian Harris donned an Eagles jersey.
What? Timeout?
Central called timeout. For the first time since Damian Harris donned an Eagles jersey, Madison Southern will knock off their rival, their in-county rival, Madison Central.
I'm going to guess that Centers is telling his kids now to be classy after the game. Because you know him well. I'll bet he's telling him to act the right way after the game.
You know, when Samantha did her interview earlier this year in the offseason with John Clark and Tobias Storm and some of these Eagles players, they mentioned this game, Samantha. You know they did. You know, Tobias Storm, Dawson Gabbard, they look forward to this matchup versus Madison Central. And I just saw those two guys, Tobias Storm and Dawson Gabbard, hug each other at the 45-yard line to celebrate knocking off Madison Central their senior year in this big rivalry game. And the Eagles fans have a lot to cheer about tonight, this week, as for the first time in a while they've been able to get the best of Madison Central in sports thus far.
Well, the other thing, the obvious, this will catapult their confidence tremendously. And I don't think Clark will let him get big heads. He's too good of a coach.
Storm will back up, take a few steps back, take a knee, and that will do it.
I was actually surprised he went down to his knee so quickly because Central didn't even try to rush. He could have just stood there.
Madison Southern will knock off Madison Central. Final score 34-25. We will take a 3-minute commercial break. Come back here and wrap things up on the Chenault Vineyards postgame show. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll come back here and close things out from Madison Central High School. Final score 34-25. Back in 3 minutes on WBONTV.com.
When you're in Estill County and get the hungries, be sure to eat at Estill's Finest. In the mood for the best barbecue, pulled pork, brisket, steaks, ribs, or burgers? Follow the smoke to the House of Q. And for the best pizza, pasta, or salad, head on down to the Steam Engine Pizza Pub. No matter what you're craving, remember Estill's Finest, Steam Engine Pizza Pub on Main Street, or for mouth-watering barbecue, it's House of Q on River Drive in Irvine.
Healthy smiles are confident smiles. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is offering a new patient special. X-rays, exam, cleaning, and fluoride for only $99. They also have a $10 unit Botox special. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offers their patients single-visit restoration on crowns, bridges, inlays, onlays, and veneers with CERAC. Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry is equipped to handle all your dental needs from implants, teeth whitening, root canal therapy, and more. For your next dental appointment, call Jones Family and Cosmetic Dentistry at 859-985-0201.
Kentucky has lots of counties and miles of roads. And in every county, there's a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent looking out for folks when they're on the road. When you're in Kentucky, you're never far away from Kentucky's own property and casualty insurer.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
At Madison Drug, Charles and his staff know your time is valuable and will work to get you in and out quickly. We have a convenient drive-thru and offer free delivery. For vaccinations, just walk right in, no appointment necessary. Madison Drug, Richmond's hometown pharmacy. At Madison Drug, Charles and his staff know your time is valuable and will work to get you in and out quickly. We have a convenient drive-thru and offer free delivery. For vaccinations, just walk right in, no appointment necessary. Madison Drug, Richmond's hometown pharmacy. At Madison
At People's Bank, we do it all, from personal banking to business banking and lending services. And unlike some other banks, we make all decisions locally. When you don't have time to wait, count on us. People's Bank is the perfect fit for your busy life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
People's Bank, with lots of locations to serve you. Give them a call at 986-6860 and check them out online, whitakerbank.com.
It's tailgate season at Jack Burford Chevrolet. You can pick out your favorite tailgate connected to a huge selection of new Chevy Silverados right here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. Visit us on the EKU bypass, and you can always shop jackburford.com 24/7, 365. Now what game is on? Oh, this is a good one. It's where Chevys cost less.
Welcome back, everybody. It's night for Southern, and we were in a commercial break, but the Southern kids were jumping up and down and going crazy exactly the way you thought. And the joy those kids have for winning, this sounds corny, but I'm telling you, these kids don't realize it. When they're 40, they will remember in their reunions beating Central tonight. And this game will become bigger and bigger for their lives as they, grow and get married and have kids and all that kind of stuff. This is a night that they are going to remember forever.
Yeah, that's what I said. You saw Tobias Storm and Dawson Gabbard, two young guys out there that were tired of losing to Madison Central. And we heard that some of the coaches, as they came down out of the press or out of the box up top, they finally got that monkey off.
Yeah, and one of the coaches used that word. We got the monkey off her back. And look, I'm not saying Central didn't want it, because that would be the dumbest thing I could say on the air. Central wanted to win this game. I'm not so sure that Southern didn't want a little more because they hadn't won since 2014. I do think that at times in sports and rivalries, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. They're picking a coach up. At Southern to the left, they're picking a coach up, and they're jumping up and down and yelling. Now, here's the thing. If I'm the Central coach right now, and they're having a little talk, I would have them stop and look at the celebration to know what the feeling is like at that moment watching Southern celebrating on your field. Because how many times have you seen in the World Series, right? The team that loses, very often a star from the losing team will sit there and kind of stew, and it's emotional, and you're watching the other team celebrate, so you remember that moment and that awful feeling so it doesn't happen to you again. I would use that for a moment, but I'll bet you Coach Centers, knowing him, I bet he's using this as a teaching moment for his Central kids.
Yeah, and you like the saying, when you win, pretend like you've been there before. But this is a big deal for these kids. Nobody's going to blame them for celebrating.
No. There's the expression is act like you've been there before, and there's a time and place to do it. Not now.
Yeah.
Those kids earned every right to yell, jump up and down and yell, and it's like, was the whole school out there? I mean, they had, students and football players and whatever. I mean, it was a humongous crowd out there, and they celebrated on Central's field. And I bet there will be some Central kids that won't like it, but you know what? They earned it.
Yeah,
they absolutely earned it. It was you got to congratulate Southern for doing a job, and the truth was they were the better team on the field tonight.
We are here live on the Chenault Vineyards postgame show. Check out Chenault Vineyards for your next event, whether it be a baby shower, wedding shower, office party, whatever the case is. Make sure to call Chenault Vineyards. They've got some awesome.
You're about to have a shower again, aren't you?
A couple of them, I think. Got a little
twins?
No. We have one in my hometown and one in her hometown.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's good to have Chenault Vineyard up there.
So I start a rumor that he's about to have twins?
No.
Okay, I won't do it.
We're not having twins.
If Sam's the boss, she says no, that's it.
But we are here live in Richmond as the Indians fall at home by the score of 34-25. Your final score, and I tell you what, our hometown dental player of the game,
Walter Smith, what
a game for him. Tobias Storm, too, but, Walter Smith, with the big plays that he made, able to really catapult to this victory. Smith on the game had 2 touchdowns receiving.
One was 87 yards.
He kicked 2 extra points, had an interception, and returned it 50 yards before a penalty brought it back.
Multiple penalties.
He had a running in, a 2-point conversion.
Correct.
And he threw a 32-yard touchdown
on
pass.
4th down. When he started out as the wide receiver, took an end around and threw a perfect pass. And as we mentioned earlier, he was going to be the quarterback, but because of some position changes and stuff like that, they went to Tobias. And obviously, he'll be the quarterback next year.
Yeah.
There's no question about that, and he'll start for a couple of years here. But he has to be one of the most talented sophomores in the state. I mean, he did everything tonight, and he was flying around on defense.
Our hometown dental player of the game is Walter Smith, the sophomore at Madison Southern. A big night for him. And he is our hometown dental player of the game. When you need dental work, make sure to stop by Hometown Dental. You mentioned WBON TV. You get $100 off of Zoom whitening treatment and free exams and x-rays for new patients at Hometown Dental in Richmond.
Right now, Coach Sanders is doing probably as powerful of a coaching job as he'll do all year. Keeping his team together. They're 0-3. I'm sure he didn't like how maybe some of his kids acted, and I'm sure there's a certain attitude that he expects. I remember the first time we talked this year when I called and said I'm doing the games, we talked about the team and that kind of stuff, and he said, I think what we have, even though I've lost all those seniors, that we have the culture in place. I believe he does, and so right now, to be honest, his team needs a tune-up, and he is capable of doing a tune-up, and these kids are capable of handling a tune-up the right way, but they need a tune-up right now.
Yeah, Madison Central falls to 0-3 on the season. They will play Lexington Christian Academy next week at 5:30 in the Doc Sipple Bowl. That'll be the first game of next week's broadcast. If you can't make it out, we'll have that game for you live on WBON TV. The nightcap will be Madison Southern and Danville in the nightcap next week over in Berea. Both those games will be played on the field for Madison Southern, beginning at 5:30 with the Central game, followed by the Southern game to follow. We'll have both those broadcasts for you live here on WEKY, WKXO, and on WBONTV.com.
And a special thanks. We had people from all over the country watching us on
Florida,
Facebook that we saw.
South Dakota.
And by the way, and a lot of comments.
Yes.
And a lot of really good comments from really nice folks. And why don't you do this one more time before you go off the air? You did a really cool thing. Why don't you talk about Maggie one more time?
Yes. Yeah, Maggie Holberg, keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She's been a fan of ours ever since we started WBON TV.
God bless you,
3 years
Maggie.
ago. Her oldest grandson, or one of her grandsons, was a senior in high school then. That was Gavin. His younger brother, Ashton, now plays for Madison Central. And Maggie got some bad news regarding her cancer. She's going to go over to the Mayo Clinic, so keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Maggie Holberg, keep strong. If you ever make it down this way,
please
would love
come
to have
see
you
us.
in the booth with
us.
us.
As a matter of fact, you'll be our halftime guest, right? Sam will be good with that. If Maggie, Sam would love to interview Maggie if you come up here. And what was really cool after you started it with all your credit, Michael, and we said prayers for Maggie. Some other people put online prayers for Maggie too.
Yeah, so appreciate that.
I got to chill with that. That was really cool. And by the way, Sanders is still talking to his team.
Yeah, long post-game talk.
I'm telling you, I've done this too long. This has to be the most powerful message he's going to deliver these kids this year. And I think he's good enough that I think he's going to pull this thing off, and I think these kids are going to respond.
Yeah, they're going to have a little post-game prayer now for Madison Central as you see all the coaches take their hats off and bow their head. And we want to say thank you to all of our great sponsors as well for our entire crew. The W guys are the guys from over at WL Stats, Glenn and Gary, our radio producer, Jaden Johnson, our TV producer, Austin Hanks, Gage Hill, Samantha Burford, Alan Cutler, and myself, Michael Watkins. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we'll be live in Berea for Berea and Caverner High School football. Watch that game live here on WBON TV. For all of us, have a great Friday evening, folks, and thank you for hanging out with us here on WBONTV.com.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.